to date on the season, game by game, and cover everything in between. Gwynn and Chris, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 The Fan.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
This is Manny Machado from the San Diego Padres.
Machado at his second with his second double in as many innings.
The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan and Odyssey Sports Station. Attention, 97.3 The Fan listeners. If you're drowsy, sluggish, or feeling fatigued, you're about to get your afternoon boost with Tony Gwynn Jr.
Nevertheless, I think this guy's girlfriend should be allowed to look, not touch.
Chris Ello.
When are you going to realize that I don't listen to you?
And Matt Scraby.
He's got dump like a charm.
Cisco.
Yeah.
Don't blame us for any side effects.
You thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
And we do welcome you to the midweek edition of the program here today. Gwynn and Chris on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello and Tony Gwynn Jr. together in our Odyssey Palace studios today. Matt Scraby is off. Adam Klug sitting in alongside. We will be here till 6 o'clock today. We do have a lot of other things to get to, and we will get to those things. But, Tony, we have to start in a place that I was, kind of hoping I'd never have to do a show about. These kinds of things are so tough. The passing of our friend and Padres legend, Randy Jones. We all were made aware of his passing this morning at the age of 75. And he leaves behind a Padre legacy that very few people can top. Maybe one of them is your dad, but there's not a whole lot of other people who've meant more to the Padre organization, Tony, than Randy Jones.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument he was the sole holder while, my dad was still playing. He was Randy was one of the guys that not only had a great career, but then reinvented himself there afterwards. And, whether it was, his barbecue there for a little bit or, his foundation and the people and the families that he helped, RJ was he always brought a smile to your face. And you're right. You started to get kind of texts last night, and you kind of just hoping that it's just bad info that's kind of circulating. But, as you said this morning, and all of those wishes kind of fell to the wayside.
Yeah, they did. It's been really tough. I know there's a generation of Padre fans that grew up with Randy Jones and will forever remember, what he did on the mound and for this franchise in those two incredible years of 1975 and then 1976 when he won the Cy Young Award. But if that was all he did, he'd be memorable. But he went beyond that because of what he did after, his playing career. And he's always been here in San Diego County, lived up by you and Poway. And like you said, he was at the ballpark. He was meeting fans. He loved the fans. He loved hanging out with them. And I don't think he ever, made anybody who came up to him feel uncomfortable.
Never.
And people always wanted to talk to Randy Jones. He was also, as Tony, down at spring training year after year after year after year, working with the young pitchers. I'm not even talking about the guys that of, right? The top of the line rotation guys. He'd go out in the backfield and help some young guy work on something. He just wanted to help everybody be around the game. And, then you mentioned his foundation, which he's had, and, right up until now, he leaves behind, a legacy. We always say a lot of great things when people pass, but it wasn't hard to come up with anything today to talk about Randy. On a personal note, Tony, we've made fun of the fact that I was a left-handed pitcher who actually did have curly hair, as a matter of fact, at one time.
It wasn't red, though.
It wasn't red like his, but and I didn't throw hard. And so, Randy Jones was an all-star pitcher in Major League Baseball. I'd be lying if I said I didn't look up to a guy like Randy Jones as one of my heroes growing up. and, just saying, look, here's a guy doing what I do. Maybe, who knows, maybe I could make it someday.
Yeah.
And, that was the effect he had on me. And then how many of us are lucky enough to get older into our lives and things come around, and then you get to meet somebody who is one of your heroes. And then how many of those people do you meet that exceed your expectations? You meet them and you're like, wow, he's even a greater guy than I would have ever imagined. So that's the story for me. My wife and his wife, Marie Jones, became very close over the last decade or two. My wife's been having a very tough time today, as many of us have. And, I don't really need to wish Marie Jones a lot of support, because she's one of the strongest people I know, Tony, if you know her too. So, but she's got everybody behind her in this community. And I know everybody's reaching out and sending their, prayers and whatever they can to Marie and Randy's two daughters. But
my Randy and my mom were pretty close. So
yeah,
that's how I started to kind of hear about it last night. And Maria and my mom have a lot of similarities in terms of that.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of toughness. So, we should all be having the Jones family in our prayers as they go through this difficult time. But, it's funny how I came to know Randy. Remember, my dad was in the middle of his career as Randy kind of came into my life. And I didn't know, obviously, as a 9-year-old, 10-year-old going to Qualcomm or Jack Murphy at the time, that Randy was who he was. But I remember my mom, after grabbing some of his delicious barbecue, kind of like giving me the rundown, on how good Randy was as a player. And then as I started my professional career and come back to San Diego, Randy would always find his way to come by and say hello. And you build a relationship with him, getting to spend a lot more time with him after I retired and became a part of the organization. And this is one of those days where a lot of the organization and people around it, people who are touched by it in this city, will all kind of feel the same way. It's a rough day for all of us, I think, today, losing Randy.
Yeah, I think the younger generation, probably doesn't grasp it as well as,
sure,
a little bit of the older generation. Your dad will always forever be Mr. Padre, and nobody's ever going to want to argue that. But I believe you could make a legit argument that you can almost say your dad may not have had a chance to be Mr. Padre if it wasn't for Randy putting the Padres on the map. And I don't know, maybe I'm overstating it a little bit, but I'm going all the way back to the first 5 years of this franchise's existence. Remember 1974, the year before Randy came on the Cy Young type scene. This franchise was basically sold to a group from Washington, D.C., and they were moving. We were going to lose baseball here. Ray Kroc, the McDonald's billionaire, came in and, saved the day, kept the team in San Diego. But the only team the team in 74 was famous for was Ray Kroc coming on the mic one night and saying, "I've never seen such stupid ball playing in my entire life." He said that over the PA system one night. Pretty much that's all anybody knew about the Padres until Randy came along.
Yeah.
He put a national spotlight on the San Diego Padres, and he was easily the first to ever do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to miss Randy Jones. We're going to talk with Ted Leitner. I texted him this morning, and I know he's as, broken up as the rest of us, but Ted's nice enough. He's going to come on in the 3:00 hour, share some of his recollections of Randy Jones. So we will talk a lot more about it throughout the show today. In the meantime, we'll try to get to the rest of everything else that's going on. We had an Aztec basketball game last night that I was going to watch until I got wind of what was going on with Randy, and guess I didn't. Glad I didn't watch it. It didn't turn out too well.
It wasn't. At times it was a fun watch, and then but then the rest of the time it wasn't. Aztecs came back from 12. Miles Bird hit a
half-court shot. Yeah.
I mean, all net to send it into OT. They then would blow 2 4-point leads in OT and then in double OT, and they go down. And it's, according to Mark Ziegler, this is a tough loss based on, was it net palm and it being a non-conference home loss.
You remember last year when they beat Houston, that basically put them in the tournament. Now, when they go to Las Vegas next week,
they're going to have to do something.
If they beat somebody like that, it's only probably going to bring them back to even.
Right.
Because they
have to have a couple of those now.
Right. They may need a couple of those now. But we'll talk more about that a little bit. Also, Chris Johnson, I think he might be on his way to being an All-American.
Yeah, no doubt.
San Diego State's a great cornerback will join us on the program today. And your other partner, Jesse Agler, will be on in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll talk some Padres stuff, give you the latest on what's happening with the Friars, and catch up with Jesse. But certainly with a heavy heart that we forge on today. 75 years, Randy Jones. And I just want to say that when the sadness wears off, Tony, there's going to be a lot of amazing, fun memories that are going to make a lot of people smile when Randy Jones's name is brought up. And that's a pretty good legacy to have.
Yeah.
So we'll take our, we're a little bit ahead of the break. We're going to do our daily gambit, of course. We're going to do our Chris versus the fans. Adam's going to sub in on the Big Five today. So we will get to all the rest of our stuff. But let's take our first time out. Come on back, and we'll get rolling here. Gwynn and Chris on a heavy-hearted Wednesday. San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family.
16 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Adam Klug sitting in for Matt Scraby. Kind of hit on it a little bit before we went to break. Aztecs were in action last night, and they go down, double OT. Unfortunately, just could not get really the put away possession when they were up 4.
Yeah.
Get a bucket, pushes it to 6, pressure mounts, you probably can get away, but they couldn't get those buckets.
No.
And then
a couple turnovers at the wrong time.
Yeah. It was it still looks like a team trying to figure out how to play with one another. This is a group that, although there's a lot of guys back, still trying to mix in some of the new guys they have in as well.
You know what? It takes time.
It does.
I think with a bunch of new players, what takes a lot of time, I think, Tony, is, especially at the Aztecs play, is getting your defense coordinated.
Yeah.
And Brian Dutcher said, look, offensively, we were not great. They had 20 turnovers, which is too many. They missed 14 free throws in a double overtime game. That doesn't help. But ultimately, they lost because their defense stunk, at least to the level the Aztecs are used to playing.
Yeah.
Troy was, running a 5-out. They were getting backdoor cuts, wide open layups. They were beating the Aztecs off the dribble. They were playing, one of their great games. I mean, if you look at what Troy has done the rest of the season, they usually score 60 points a game. They put up 108. So, give them some of the credit. But normally the Aztecs, 9 out of 10, take what a team normally does and make them look worse, because the Aztec defense is really good, but it's not good yet.
No, a couple of the quotes I enjoyed from Dutch. He said that if you're a college basketball fan, you had to love that game.
Yeah, right.
But unfortunately, I'm not a college basketball fan. I'm a college coach, so I wasn't happy with the result. The other one he said kind of alludes to what you're talking about. He said, I thought offensively we played well enough, but we don't win with our offense. We win with our defense.
Right.
It looked like this game was just racing each other to see who could score the most points. That is not Aztec basketball. So
Miles Bird said the same thing. Miles Bird said, I'm really glad I made that shot. Ultimately didn't mean anything, but he's just said defensively, we were lax. We just left a lot of stuff there that we don't normally do. And we have a lot of talent.
It's a
process.
It's a poopy loss.
Yeah.
But I love what I at least that I'm hearing, especially from the leaders. You mentioned Miles. He said we still have a lot of gelling to do as a team. We're super talented. Obviously, a lot of mental slippage tonight. We went away from our identity of defense and rebounding, and we have to hone in on who we are as a team. We're a defensive and rebounding culture, and we didn't show that tonight. So they'll have to bounce back, and they have to bounce back rather quickly.
Yeah, your reward for losing to Troy is that you get to play 7th-ranked Michigan.
Yeah,
on Monday, and I wouldn't be shocked if they don't give Michigan a game.
Yeah,
this serves as a couple of things. You know what? I know, but Dutch, I know teams with they want a wake-up call like this. They just want to win the wake-up call.
Right. They don't want to have to lose.
Right.
And in this loss, it's according to Mark Ziegler, Troy entered the night at the number 135 in the Ken Palm metric.
Can you already hear it in March when the Aztecs, if they're anywhere near the bubble, but they lost to Troy.
They have that one loss to Troy at home.
It's going to come up over
That's
and
why
over
it would help
again,
to get a win against Michigan, a number 7 Michigan.
Sure.
And then whoever's next after that.
They got Oregon, and then they don't know who the third game would be because it depends on how the tournament goes. But, yeah, I still think this is a talent. I don't change my thinking.
No.
If Brian Dutcher tells me –
it would have been really nice to go undefeated the whole season.
Sure. And if Brian Dutcher tells me he's got a really good team, and he said he doesn't know if it's good yet, but he knows it will be. And that was what it looked like last night. It looked like a good team that is not good yet, but we're sure people are going to overreact, whatever. Brian Dutcher's 269 now, 200 wins, 69 losses. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And, sure, it doesn't feel great, but I remember, interviewing Coach Fisher once. I actually filled in for Ted on a game because he was doing football. They lost to, I think it was Arkansas Little Rock. And I think they scored 40 points. And I remember everyone, and it was at Viejas, and Fisher was still a coach. And, everyone was down and out after the game, and I have to do the post-game interview on the court with Coach Fisher. And I'm like, oh, boy. So I go to Coach Fisher. I go, Coach, it's cool if you don't want to do this. I get it after a game like that. Coach Fisher completely flipped the script on me, Tony. He said, no, after games like this is when you have to do the interview because your fans are out there. They want to hear.
Answers. They want answers.
This is the game. You have to do the interview.
Yeah.
And that was just another feather in the cap of a guy like Steve Fisher, who took, what I thought was going to be a real negative and turned it into a positive. And that team went on and made the NCAA tournament like this one probably will. Right. So
Mugungwath, who made his return to the floor, looked pretty good. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks, all in 28 minutes. Now, they only planned to play him 20.
That's a pretty good debut, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
pretty good.
He looked fluid out there. He didn't look that rusty at all. And so, again, when you're adding these different pieces into the lineup, seemingly every game, I think this year they've added a new piece to the lineup, and 2 of the 3 starts games they've had this year. So they're still coming together. Not a terrible loss, but certainly not devastating in a way that you pack it in the rest of the season. Now, there was another game today. The women played today.
You couldn't forget about that one. Huh?
We were in Aztec mode. We might as well talk about it.
My goodness. I don't know what happened down there to the Stacey Terry Hudson's team. Now, they're going with – and I'm going tonight, this, to the Bahamas. We're leaving tonight. I'll be there tomorrow doing the show. Tomorrow, I know you guys all feel for me on this trip, but I'll try to soldier on. But I think has a team ever had jet lag before they get on the plane?
I don't know. I've heard it that way.
But I think that's kind of what it was. I think all the kids are so excited to go to the Bahamas. They thought forgot they had a game to play today. And they went out and
I can see that being a thing.
Maybe. Yeah. They went out and got beat, solidly.
I mean, it
was a good Santa Clara team, but
what college student wouldn't be excited to be getting ready to go to Hawaii?
You're thinking of that, Bahamas, wherever, and you're thinking that's dancing in your head, and you're like, well, we got to play this game.
Yeah.
They shot. This is hard to do. 1 for 29 from 3-point range in this game today. So I'm pretty sure they lost, right? Like, who's going to win if you shoot 1 for 29? And I think the thing that'll be tough for the coaching staff to deal with is that they had good looks.
Yeah.
They were working their offense and they were open. They were shots you should have taken. Maybe 1 or 2 of those was forced, but not many. They just didn't make them. So they'll get to go to the drawing board just like the men.
You guys head out tonight?
Tonight we'll get there in the morning, and then I'll be
So it's a red-eye flight.
Got the red eye into Miami. I called my friend Mike McDaniel, see if he'd meet me at the airport. He's a little busy.
He declined.
But I'll be going into Miami. We get there by 5, 6 in the morning. I've already got my lineup of shows I'm going to watch on the plane tonight.
Now, what teams are in this tournament?
It's the whatever they call it, the Battle for Atlantis.
Oh, okay, yeah, on the women's side.
On the women's side, but they're only going to play 2 games. You're going to be there 5 days. So it's a lot of rest and relaxation, I guess, but going to play Penn State in one of the games. And the other game is Maryland Eastern Shore, which I know nothing about, but it's a great reward for the kids, right? This is what they love. There's other teams in the tournament. So it's not like one of those where there's a bracket. You just go there. Other teams are there. You play games. You get your couple games, you come home, but they're excited, but probably going to be a little less than excited after how they played today. It was not pretty to watch for sure.
And so, as we said, the men will get ready for their next matchup against the Michigan Wolverines, number 7.
Yeah.
And you guys, do you know who your guys are facing the first game?
Yes, is it Maryland will be first on Saturday, Maryland Eastern Shore. Monday will be Penn State. I love this, Tony. I love the way these kids travel. We get there Thursday. Don't play till Saturday. I mean, what are we waiting? So why didn't we get there last week and really get some rest? I mean, come on.
I have a sneaky suspicion they may not be resting as much as
not after that performance. I bet you there'll be some shooting practice tomorrow.
You guys are gonna be shooting in the ballrooms here. I'm sure pretty soon after you guys get in.
Yeah, for sure.
Michigan on the 24th, which is Monday.
Right.
And then that's followed. They play the next night against Oregon.
And then they wait to see who the third game is. The men do.
Those games will be on TNT and True TV. Let me also remind our listeners, this hour is brought to you by Toyota of Poway. It's the season to save at Toyota of Poway. Voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today. The Black Friday sales event is on with brand new Toyotas in stock and ready to roll. Hurry to Toyota of Poway or toyotaofpoway.com. Drive home happy this holiday. Bron James, he returned last night.
What was that all about?
Yeah.
Did the Lakers get fined for that?
You know what I think I got duped by? I think it was the same thing that I think you got duped by. The report was talking about LeBron not playing in the USA
Olympic thing.
Oh, and I think
so we all read it as he
I
wasn't playing in the game.
That's what I think I got, at least.
Did you see the game? Because I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I didn't get a chance to watch it.
He
either.
finished with 11 points.
Yeah.
Do you know when he got the last to 11?
I think
he's got that
yeah.
streak of double figures going back like 15 years.
I think he got it relatively early.
He had it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was
because that would have been a little bit of a hairy thing if he's like sitting on 9. You're like, we got to get him one more bucket because he's got to keep that streak going.
I know I'm biased, but I would just say that's a dangerous LeBron. I mean, I think he took umbrage with the fact that people were talking about how he was going to fit in since the Lakers were playing so well.
Why does anybody say something so stupid?
Because it's almost like he made it a point yesterday to show that I can just facilitate. Get these 12 dimes off. I'll get my double digits to keep this long streak going, but it's a dangerous LeBron right there.
Come on, you're an idiot. We don't. Some of us, Scraby more than others, don't like the guy. But to say that his basketball talent isn't undeniably incredible is just a mistake.
That's silly.
And he doesn't even. He's like Jordan in that regard. He doesn't even need anything to motivate him.
No.
So if you're going to give him something, look out.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys out there. All right, let's get to break. On the other side, we got a lot of baseball topics.
Some interesting stuff
bubbling
happening
up
today,
here.
for
a
sure.
New TV deal on the cusp, or actually has already gone through. A little bit of old stuff, some new stuff, but it seems as though the talk is that baseball is like headed towards a work stoppage. Why? We'll get into that on the other side. More Gwynn and Chris.
Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. 2:34 on this sad Wednesday. The passing of Randy Jones, the Padres legend, announced earlier this morning. Randy was 75 years old. I brought this in, Tony. We're going to talk to Ted Leitner in the 3 o'clock hour, and Jesse Agler will join us in the 4 o'clock hour. So we'll have a lot more on Randy as the show goes along. But I brought this in. I don't know if YouTube can see this. It's a pretty fun little picture here. I'm going to hold it up. This is my wife and Randy. She's trying to feed him a hot dog there if you can't see it. But that was part of a publicity photo that they took prior to the 1998 World Series when they were working together at another station, the old station that carried the Padres. Anyway, that picture's been up in a place of distinction in our house for a long, long time. So, we all felt very close to Randy, and everybody's going through their own level of sadness today. But like I said, we'll talk a lot more about RJ and his legacy as the program goes along here. Baseball, of course, may be tarnishing its legacy, Tony, a little. We don't know what's going to end up happening. But we do know that we could be on the verge of a work stoppage. And you brought this up. Athletic brought it up in an article today. Why would baseball want to do this now when things are going great?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the question before the court here is the timing. Well, the timing's never good for a work stoppage, but it's like when both sides are doing so well, you wonder why there even needs to be one.
Evan Drellich does a terrific job with The Athletic. So shout out to him for putting this article together. And in this article, he talks to a lot of people within the game. A lot of young, upcoming, talented head of baseball ops. He talks to Arnold, who runs the Brewers. He talked to Shane Bloom, who was once with the Red Sox, now with the Cardinals, heading that bad boy. And you just get the sense that even they, both operating, especially the Brewers, operating at a disadvantage in terms of the market that they're in. Even they, in reading this article, you can tell that even they aren't sure that this is worth stopping the momentum that they have created.
Yeah.
That's coming from two small market guys
who you would always think a work stoppage would be. Is it from the organization side? Is a work stoppage something that is in a ways designed to help the smaller teams gain ground on the bigger teams?
That would be what you're doing it for.
Right.
Yes.
So what your point is, if that's the case, then why would even a small market team like the Brewers or somebody like that be not necessarily in favor of this?
They seem to be under the eye, guys, that something has to change. They just don't know what that is. The thing about NFL and NBA, they also have different revenue sharing in terms of TV rights. It's done differently than it is in baseball. And to me, that's where the advantage lies. And, they start going through some of the things that happened in 94 when the Padres when baseball went on strike.
That's hard to believe that now looking back, what is it, 30 years?
That
we had a year where there was no World Series
No World Series.
Incredible.
And this 95 season was shorter. And
they missed a lot of the next season.
What I can tell you is that if it weren't, and the irony in this is can't be overlooked. Without Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire,
it may not have ever 1998 come back. Saved it.
But that also then spearheaded what we all now refer to as the steroid era, right?
Yeah. Which gives you this conspiracy that baseball gave them the steroids to try to get the interest back.
The conspiracy.
Yes, that's the conspiracy there.
Indeed.
There you go. But who was the committee? Oh, Bud Selig was. He was handing out steroids at the time to say, can you start hitting some more home runs?
We need the people
to
come
fans back.
Right, but they have, for the third straight season, have had more people come through the turnstile. They have made more money and had this happen in consecutive seasons for the first time. I think they said since 2000, from 2005 to 2007 was the last time they had that kind of year over end kind of improvement. And so the question is, the salary cap that seems to be the thing that the owners are pushing towards.
But why did it even bother? The players aren't going to give them a salary cap.
It's the one thing that they've been willing to miss games over.
I remember a strike. I think it was 1972, Tony, before I even understand what was going on, other than the fact there was no games.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure it was the same thing. Right. They wanted, to put a cap on salaries then. And, that was also more about free agency, giving them freedom.
Right.
But
to be able to move. Right.
The whole idea was we got to cap salaries. And the players said, no, we're never, ever going to agree to it. And we're 50 years later and they're never, ever going to agree to it. So shouldn't the baseball ownership, and, I guess that includes the commish, our guy, Rob Manfred, but shouldn't they just try to work within those parameters to save it, so we don't have to go through this? And I don't know. It's a. You're damned if you do. I guess you're damned if you don't.
Manfred, according to, in the article, it says Manfred's position is that at the least, the sport has a perception problem that causes fans in smaller markets to doubt their team's chances. One club executive went further. If the goal is to have success determined by things other than your revenue, we are far from that right now, said an anonymous National League GM. Baseball is famously random in other sports. The NL executive pointed out, you have LeBron James on your team, you can win a title. You don't, you probably can't. If you have Lamar Jackson on your team, you're good. If you don't, you're looking for Lamar Jackson. The GM said there is no equivalent in baseball. And so it's hard to disentangle the inherent structure of the economics from the actual game itself, where the best player in baseball is worth what? 10 wins? And so it's a different dynamic as you start to talk about players and their salaries and the type of impact they can have on. And that's a point for the salary cap there, right? Because in the other sports like basketball, you do have a LeBron James that itself can win you a title, whereas you can have the best player in all of baseball on your team, and it guarantees you nothing.
Well, it seems to guarantee the Dodgers something.
Well, they have a lot of the best players on their team, and so this has always been the kind of conversation that is written a kind of around Major League Baseball, right? The union will give you different numbers. They both presented different statistics that show you why they should have what they have. And I encourage you to go read the article for yourself because it's pretty in depth. You have the Major League Baseball using some of the data that really last, I think it was 4, 5, 6 of 7, or 4 of 6, 6 of 7. 6, 7. Yeah.
Thanks, Tony.
Have been top 10 payrolls that have won the title.
Well, I have an answer.
Go ahead.
And I'm sorry to the fans of the Pirates and the Rockies and even the Royals and I don't know, whoever else you want to throw in, the Athletics, maybe the Rays, although the Rays seem to do okay. If you don't want to spend money, get out of baseball. And I know you can't, this is impossible to regulate because you can't fire an owner.
Right.
But that is the problem as I see it.
You need to have the right type of owners.
People should come in and want to win and spend money on their teams. And there's too many baseball teams that are owned by people that are just worrying about their bottom line. And because the notion that any team loses money is absurd.
Yeah.
Why do we know that? because every team's value goes up exponentially every year, every 5 years, every decade. And even if you have a terrible franchise, you could sell it for so much more than you bought it for. So tell the Pirate owner, tell the, whoever, the A's, all these other Yahoos out there, the Rockies for sure, and tell them either sell your franchise or get out of our way. You're wrecking the sport. I know it's not going to happen. I'm dreaming here.
No. One of the agents in the article kind of put it like this. He said, Manfred Clark, who he's talking about Tony Clark, the head of the Players Union, has a good reason to allow canceled games in 2027. Everyone else in baseball seems to be kicking ass, said the agent, who was granted anonymity to speak candidly. If we miss games, they both should step down. So,
there you go. We don't talk politics on this show, and I'm not going to. But if you know what we all just went through with the stoppage in the government, you heard a lot of the very similar stuff from both sides.
Both sides, yeah, for sure.
This guy, that guy. Okay, so this is what happens in life. Unfortunately, we all sit there and go, well, let's get some people in there who want to get the government going. Let's get some people in baseball who want to do it right.
Let me give you the figures the MLB offered, and then I'll give you the figures that the union then countered that with.
Okay.
They said this year, a top 10 payroll club with the World Series won 4 consecutive years, and the 6th time out of the 7 seasons, a bottom 15 market hasn't won since Kansas City Royals in 2015. In that same period of time, MLB said a combined 15 bottom half teams by market size have won in the NFL, NBA, and NHL. And payroll disparity, which the league defines here as the ratio of top 5 to bottom 5 payrolls, is about 4.7%. That's the largest on record dating back to 1985. Now, the union, they took umbrage, of course, as you could imagine, with those calculations, because
that's the other part of it.
They're based on the salary figures that include what tax teams pay in luxury tax. The additional money that they have to pay to exceed certain salary thresholds. This year, for example, the Dodgers totaled of $509 million in MLB calculation, with $168 million of that being paid to competitive tax bands. So those bottom 5 teams, they got that $168 million split between them. And that's just from the Dodgers. So whatever, I think the Padres were a luxury tax team, right? So They get all of that money then redistributed back to them. And there's no guarantee that they have to then use that for their salaries and their payroll.
That just shouldn't happen. But it has been happening since the beginning of time. And it's the whole thing what the Yankees used to say, and I think the Brewers were the ones they used to pick on back in the day. Stop yelling at us for spending too much money and start yelling at the Brewers, who we give money to, and they put it in their pocket.
Adam?
I don't want to come off as like I'm defending the teams that don't spend money, because I do think the more you spend, the better your chances of winning are. But if you expand the parameters for what you're talking about from actually winning the World Series to perhaps making the playoffs, we had the Reds make the playoffs this year. They're the number 19 payroll. We had the Brewers make the playoffs this year. They are the number 17 payroll. We had the Guardians make the playoffs. They're the 26th payroll. We had the Tigers make the playoffs. They're the 14th payroll. We had the Mariners make the playoffs. They're the 12th payroll. So it is possible to achieve some level of success, have a great regular season. The Brewers have the best record in the sport, right? And make the playoffs with a legitimate chance to win a championship. Now you have a smaller margin for error with roster and personnel moves, and you improve your odds by spending money, all those things. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying it can be done.
Here's the other thing. And I think you got to commend the Brewers for this. And this is something that Tom Arnold hit on, not Tom Arnold, can't remember his first time.
We see the teams like the Brewers and the Guardians trade their high-priced players away.
They have a formula that keeps them. Now, listen, they can't miss on those moves.
What I said. Your margin for error is smaller.
My point is, maybe you put your money in hiring a guy like Arnold, who's running the Brewers, who's ran the Brewers for quite some time.
Mets did.
Which is what the Mets did.
And the Dodgers took Friedman from the Rays.
Right. And so if you're paying these guys and the right guys, because everybody hasn't turned out that way, right? I mean, James Chaim Bloom has had his struggles. Now he's going to get another chance here with the Cardinals, but maybe that's where you put your money in, because it's those type of guys that are going to give you that opportunity that you're talking about, despite not having the resources to hit the free agency market and put you in position to, all you need is, Brewers are like one of those teams that they continue to get there. They just need one difference maker. And if they can perhaps spend the money even on that one guy, that one
but
time,
they can afford it. That's the thing.
They can do it. They
can afford it. They just don't want to do it. Number one. Number two, Adam's right. You have a smaller margin no matter what. So you hear the thing. That's not fair. Guess what? There's no way to ever make Milwaukee as big of a market as New York.
Yeah.
There's no way to ever make Seattle as big a market as St. Louis, because Seattle's next to an ocean, and the ocean isn't going anywhere.
To me,
so the market is what it is, and you have to go with it.
We've talked about this. To me, the difference maker, the thing that pushes it over the top, is the TV distribution. So I don't know what the answer is in order to get the Dodgers and some of these major market teams to relinquish that. And no, I don't even know that they should have to.
They're going to have to exhume the body of Pete Rozelle, the NFL commissioner, who in the 60s got all the NFL teams to agree to revenue share.
That's why the NFL works the way it does. It's the TV part that pushes them further and further and further.
Yeah.
And as long as it's individualized like it is now, there's always going to be that advantage. And based on what we're going to probably get into a little bit later, it seems like my man Rob Efford has waved the white flag in terms of, because remember last year we talked about the idea that he would centralize all of the teams. We didn't know. We kept saying we don't know how he's going to get the Dodgers to give up their TV rights and the Yankees, but that was the plan. Based on this new deal we saw come across today,
TV deal,
right? 3-year deal, by the way. So that takes you to 29. It seems like he's maybe having a change of heart in terms of being able to pull that off.
Hasn't happened.
It was always going to be an uphill climb to get the Dodgers to come up off of whatever they're getting from Spectrum.
If you don't like the fact that if you really can't stand the fact that the Padres are at a disadvantage against the Dodgers, move to LA and be a Dodger fan, and then that's it, because this isn't changing. We are a smaller market. Yeah. That can't change no matter what rules are put in. Unless you're going to get the Dodgers to start giving us some of the money that they make. And that's absurd. You know, you would never do that in your business, nor are they. So stop asking for it.
There's actually one thing that could level the playing field. Salary cap.
Okay.
I'm just saying that is one thing. If every team has a ceiling on what they can spend.
You say that now. What if they really did do a salary cap of $40 million or whatever, $400 million? How many teams would come in way below that? The Rockies, the Rays, many teams wouldn't even approach the salary cap.
There are certainly teams that
they've already proven that
the cap would help, but there are a lot of teams that it would only exacerbate their issue as it is, and it'd be more exposed. We'd all be able to point to it.
Yeah,
wouldn't necessarily change anything though. They still would be able to own that team, put that money in their pocket, go on about their way, and we'd still be talking about the same, low market team that hasn't had a chance to win. I mean, even in NFL, right? You still get the Bengals, you still get some of these teams that are run poorly.
Can we also say one last thing, that in the last 30, 40 years, which is okay. There's 32 teams, 30
in baseball is
right.
30.
All right, 30 teams. So if
soon to be 32 though.
Okay, but let's just say there's 30. Go now back over the last 30 years, because in a perfect world where everything was equal, every team would get one shot at the title, right? Because 30, everybody get one shot. 30 teams are. Well, in that 30-year time, I think everybody but the Mariners has had a shot at it.
Yep.
They're the only one that haven't been to the World Series. Maybe you might sneak another team somewhere that got there just before the 30-year. Pretty much everybody's made it.
I think baseball just provides so many variables that it'll never be about solely the salary you can give. It's always going to be a factor. There's no doubt. I think we've seen that. We kind of went over the numbers there. I mean, yes, you got some teams outside of the top 10 that are making the playoffs, certainly, but give yourself a really good chance if you're in that top 10. That's a fact.
The Dodgers are going to be, with the advantage, and we can't stop that.
That's really going to be that's really to be what a salary cap would do. It would just bring them closer to the rest of the top of the pack.
And what are you going to say when they beat you then? Because they still have a pretty good organization. Remember to listen at 5:35 today. We're going to announce the biggest fan. Your chance to qualify to see a Padre game in the Odyssey Suite next season. Sign up at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan.
Aztec game days, Friday night.
Indeed, we are. All guests on 97.3 The Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We got a daily gambit. Just finished our spirited baseball discussion.
Why don't they just listen to us? We got everything solved.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the stupid owners. Tell everybody if you're going to own a team, you got to spend some money.
When you go buy a car, there's like a credit check. Like they make sure you got your stuff.
There you go.
Like you should have to have a certain amount of money to own a team.
Well, but I think they all do have the money. They just don't want to spend it. They'd rather complain about the way baseball is set up, which is basically because we saw the report yesterday. The Pirates, are going all in on Kyle Schwarber.
Oh, that's right. We did see that.
We saw that. Now, we didn't believe it. But let's say it's true. That means they had the money all along. They just didn't want to spend it.
Right.
So stop trying to blame baseball. It's the crappy owners who make for such an unlevel playing field. Isn't it?
No, I mean, there's a lot of owners out there not wanting to spend their cheese.
Their cheese.
They want to hang on to it. I'm not mad. Listen, it's not my cheese, so I get it.
I know, but hey.
I don't want to hear you complaining though.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing. Well, it's a business. All right, it's a business. But in any business, you make money when they say
scared money don't make money.
But when your business goes up in value, that's doing the right thing. And all of these businesses go up in value.
And you know what they do once they get to the value they like?
Sell it.
Indeed.
So please sell it.
Indeed.
I mean,
what? Just take the Padres. I mean, they were bought at what 800 mil, 700 mil.
What, and how many billion now?
It's at least being projected at 2.5.
That's a win for somebody. Yep.
Daily Gam. Let's get to it.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, Daily Gambit, so named basically because there was a television show that was called Queen's Gambit, and we thought Daily Gambit might sound good. We don't bet anything on these games, but it's mostly a way of going through some of the games that are coming up, and we like to have some fun making our picks and see how we do.
Remind me at some point later, so we're going to have to discuss that Orioles trade that seemed to make no sense to me.
Orioles and Angels.
Yeah.
Taylor Ward.
Made no sense.
All right.
So we'll get to that a little later.
Yes, sir. Ted Leitner is going to be on in the next segment, more on the life and legacy of our dear departed Randy Jones. Good night for you, Tony, 7-2. You lost on the Aztec game, which we all did. You also lost on Ohio football. They were favored by 34.5 over UMass, and they won by 28. So you didn't cover. Scraby also 7-2. I was not as good as you guys.
What was that record?
Me? 4-5, which is, credible, but not good.
Is it?
You lead the week. No. Trying to keep myself upbeat. You're 11-6. Scraby's idle today, but he's 11-6. I'm 9-8. So it's close as we go into tonight's games. You know how I love to focus on the worst teams in the league. So tonight, let's look at the Washington Wizards. Are they even still in the NBA?
I forgot
My
they existed.
goodness.
Who's on their team?
That's a great question. They've lost 11 in a row.
Let's see.
Currently, they are 1-12. Tonight, they're in Minnesota. So it's a big spread. 16.5 for the T-Wolves over the Wizards. I mean, ever since Michael Jordan retired, the Wizards have been bad. And they were bad when he was with them.
They got to the playoffs, didn't they?
They've snuck a couple, but not many. I think Gilbert Arenas got them into the postseason one year.
1-12 on the year.
I know. 1-12.
Who lost 11 straight?
Yeah. I mean, like, what do you do if you're a Washington Wizards fan? Just, I guess, go see Ovechkin play.
So they what? They got a.
Their only win was over the Mavericks in the second game.
Okay, so they lost the first one,
won the second
one, so they were 500.
Yeah,
and then 11 straight.
Alex Sarr, leading scorer of the Wiz,
and he's out tonight.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to give you somebody on their team. I've not heard much of him. How about Kaishan George?
He's not listed as injured. So
here's a couple players you've heard of. You got to feel bad for these guys, veterans that have just like ending their career.
Oh, my man from New Orleans is
CJ
there.
McCollum.
CJ McCollum.
And the Bucks traded Chris Middleton there. What did he ever do to the Bucks to be traded there? All right, after all that, who do you want? T-Wolves minus 16.5, or are you going with the Wiz?
I'm going with the Wiz, baby. I'm going with Timberwolves.
T-Wolves. They got to win sometime. And I mean, to me, the T-Wolves.
I mean, they're not going to win. They might cover.
Yeah, I'll take the Wiz to cover.
Okay.
All right. As bad as the Wizards are, they're not as bad as the team that was in the NBA Finals last year. Indiana's 1-13. Wow. And now we know they lost Halliburton, but they still
got some players besides
Halliburton. They've got some players. Miles Turner.
Lost Miles Turner,
right?
Too.
But still, Mathurin, Siakam, Nemard, Nesbitt, Toppin. I don't know.
Siakam's averaging 25 a game.
I know. Look, Carlisle's a legit coach.
Oh, my God. Look at all these outs.
Yeah, they got some guys missing, though. Toppin's played 3 games. Mathurin's played 3.
Naismith's out.
It's bad. TJ McConnell's only played 4.
They both of these teams is beat up.
But tonight, Indiana's got a shot because they're home to the almost as bad Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte favored by 1.5. I say Charlotte sees an opportunity to win. I'll take Charlotte on the road. What do you like? You got the Pacers at home?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give me ball. Give me the ball, bro.
Give you a ball.
Give me
Charlotte. Jokic is averaging 53.5 for the season, points, rebounds, and assists. He's averaging a triple-double easily, 29, 13, and 11. His over-under tonight is 51.5. Let me make sure I know who he's playing.
He's playing the Pelicans.
Yes, he is. He is so. The thing is this sounds like a negative on Jokic, and maybe I shouldn't, but he does get the ball every time down the court. They run everything through him. So he should have some points. He should have some assists.
But this many? Come on now.
Yeah, right. And he's tall and he gets the rebounds. Over under 51.5. Tony.
He's averaging 20.
And he's averaging 53.5.
Give me over. He's going to hit the over easy.
Pelicans can't stop him.
No.
Sounds like an over. Who scores more tonight? SGA at home against Sacktown, or Tyrese Maxey at home against Toronto? Maxey is a machine when it comes to scoring. We know what SGA can do. I'm going to take SGA tonight. Sacramento, they don't guard anyone. Tony, Maxey or SGA tonight? Separate games. It's a tough one.
What's the bet?
Who scores
more?
Yeah, scores more points. OKC's home to Sacramento. Maxey is home to Toronto.
Give me Maxey.
Maxey, all right. We have a women's game tonight that I couldn't pass up. University of South Carolina, home to Winthrop. I've never seen a spread like this in any game I've ever seen.
That bad, huh?
About 61.5.
Wow.
What do you think, Tony? I don't know.
South Carolina versus Winthrop. Huh?
Winthrop.
Yes, Tony, know where Winthrop is.
Is it in
South
North
Carolina? I think it's in North Carolina. It's in one of the Carolinas. I feel pretty confident about that.
I do too, but I'm not sure which one.
What do you got? Rock Hill, South Carolina.
South Carolina. Yeah. So it's a home game kind of for Winthrop. Yeah. They'll probably bring a big throng of fans.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Even though it's 61,
you're going to give the points?
I think South Carolina's going to cover. They're going to win by like 62.
The thing is Dawn Staley's not the type to run up the score, but she won't be able to help it.
I don't think she's going to be able to help
it. Her last players are going to be running up the score. I'll take South Carolina too. UConn 4.5 over Arizona. Great men's game. Number 3 and number 4 in the country. Give me Arizona. I always like to root against Dan Hurley and see if he'll do something silly. I'll take Arizona plus the points here. Tony.
Arizona, UConn?
Yeah, UConn by 4.5.
Give me Arizona.
Arizona. We have one hockey game. The Ducks have moved into first place ahead of the Kings. They're home tonight to Boston. Ducks by 1.5. Tony. Ducks and Bruins.
Give me Ducks.
I think the Bruins are in first place in their division, but it's really close. I'm going to take the Ducks just because they treated me to a night in the suite a couple of weeks ago, and I feel like I owe them a pick. We'll see how that works out. Thank you, Adam. All right. By the way, during the break, I called him Adam Scraby. So there we go.
Yeah.
I shows where my head is today.
He had no reaction. Though. He had no reaction, which was disappointing. A, B, Scraby all the time since we've been working together turns off our mics, right? And so the last time
going into a break,
into a break, to a break. Certain last time we did this, Adam. We just kind of assumed that he would do that, and he wasn't turning off the mic, so we had a few hot mode. He has not allowed me to even blink my eye
before he gets that mic
before
off.
He turns it off, and it is letting me know. Thanks, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got your mic. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Adam Scraby.
Appreciate you, Adam Scraby.
Matt Scraby would never do the same.
Let's get to break.
Uncle Teddy.
When we return, Ted Leitner joins us to talk more Randy Jones, and we celebrate his life as he passed away here last night.
From the
these things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. And we go out to our hotline right now. Very nice of Ted Leitner to take a few minutes to speak with us today. I can't think of anybody who knew Randy Jones a whole lot longer than Ted, had. And I'm sure this news is devastating to him and to all of us. Ted, thanks so much for giving us a few minutes of your time today on what's really a sad day. As I said earlier, kind of a show I hoped I'd never have to do.
Understand. 48 years I knew Randy, and from the very time I got here in 1978, and he was still pitching at that time, and pitched for a couple of more years before he was traded to the Mets. And got to know him, but then who didn't? This was he and I have been an ambassador, the two ambassadors for the club for the last my 5 years, and he longer than that. And it's been a blessing to me to be an ambassador, and a blessing to me further to be an ambassador, because I've gotten to know Randy so much better the last 5 years as co-ambassadors, because Peter Seidler asked me to spend a couple of games for homestand in the owner's suite and be with people and so forth. And every game that I was there, Randy was there, because Randy went to basically all of them. And so we would dine together, and Marie would be there, and there's grandkids and kids through the years. And I got to know him better then than during the time that he played. And I am so blessed by that and so grateful for that. And has been through so much. I mean, so much. It's the business of getting into the 70s like we are, and you just want, to be healthy first and foremost, regardless of the age, And he didn't have a lot of luck with that, from the throat cancer to the major back surgery. And a friend of mine, I didn't even know, I haven't seen Randy since the end of the season. And a friend of mine told me he broke his hip in September. And so much he had happened to him. And I think aged a lot physically in the last few years rather than chronologically. But just a great guy. I always think about that. I got to cover Tony Gwynn for 20 years, and I had a couple as a TV guy at Channel 8, and then a broadcaster with KFMB when they did the Padres, and got to be with Randy. You can't have two, never mind ambassador. They were ambassadors and they were players. And that's the kind of guy they both were. And I was so blessed to know both of them.
Theodore, I didn't get a chance to see Randy pitch or get to know him as a player. I got to know him in his kind of second act as he was retired. But you got to cover him a little bit here in San Diego. What was he like as a player, covering him then?
And it was kind of a shame for me, and because he had been so terrific. The first, and people forget this. You know the analogy that I use, that when Joe DiMaggio retired with the Yankees, he started doing commercials for the new company called Mr. Coffee, the Mr. Coffee machine, and they were all over New York and so forth. And young people would ask their dad and their mom, "Joe DiMaggio was a ball player?" You mean the Mr. Coffee guy?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I think so many young fans in San Diego, and maybe young adults too, who were not here, like I was for the prime of it, on the end of it, the playing career, that Randy Jones was a player. I thought he was as I always call it, a magnet, entrepreneur, because he hustled and he worked and he did stuff constantly. And they know him for the barbecue restaurant that he used to have. They know him for the barbecue restaurant at the new Petco and the kiosk and all that stuff. And he became more noted for that, plus his broadcast work and talk shows, right, where you guys, in terms of doing, and Padre pre-games and post-games and all that for a couple of decades. So they knew him as a broadcaster and a restaurant guy. And he played. Not only did he play, he was the first Padre star on early expansion bad teams. And was just the guy, early on with Dave Winfield and those guys that were the so-called cornerstones of the franchise. And I think Randy is kind of forgotten for that, because it's been so far back there, and they were not, good Padre teams, winning teams. But to win like that, with those kind of teams, to win 22 with a mediocre team in '76, just amazing. And to answer your questions, the kind of pitcher. And I saw him, like I said, when he was in his last couple of years, and then he was traded, had 2 more years with the Mets, and he wasn't the same pitcher. Had that nerve problem he had in his shoulder and neck, and he was never the same pitcher again, literally, after he won the Cy Young in '76. But the sinker made him. And he was unbelievable. He was just unhittable. It's just like Trevor, with the changeup, the Bugs Bunny pitch, called it, where you could tell him, hey, changeup is coming. They still couldn't hit Trevor. Yeah. And the same thing with Randy. It's a sinker, but I can't hit it. My favorite moment was Pete Rose. He owned the all-time hit champion. And Pete, one time, of course, batting right-handed against Randy, the lefty, got so frustrated, he came up and he batted left-handed against him. And thought, hell, I can't hit him right-handed. I'll try lefty.
That's when you know you're frustrated as a hitter, when you decide to go same side.
And ground it out. So Randy, and the fascinating part, and it shows how much the game has changed. I'm not a big stat guy. Not a big stat, algorithms, all that stuff. I'm not big into that, but there's some that are amazing. But to show you how the game has changed, when he won the Cy Young, 315 innings. 315. You know when you'll see that again? Never.
Yeah.
In that same year, 25 complete games.
Yeah.
That's got to be more than the entire National League combined last year for himself. And what made him even better, and he told me this, that with the sinker, he had it early sharp, and then you get a little less sink later. But when he got tired, it always sunk like crazy and moved like crazy. So he got better as he got tired. And so if you can get him out of there by the 6th, he was going 9 and you were going to lose. good chance you were going to lose. And it always fascinated me because it was really, really hard to hit. And like I said, he was fantastic, and it all peaked in that 76 season. He beat out Jerry Koosman for the Cy Young with the Met star, and Doc Sutton, my old buddy with the Dodgers, and Steve Carlton with the Phillies. That's what young people need to know, that this Randy Jones, great guy, ambassador, barbecue restaurateur, but one hell of a pitcher in his Cy Young year.
Yeah, for sure. And, the fact that he said he got tired as the game went on, that was the excuse he told himself to stay out late before the night before a ball game. Like, I better stay out here for another couple of beers just to make sure I'm tired tomorrow.
My boy RJ didn't need it. My boy RJ didn't need any excuses to stay out late for another couple of beers.
Ted, you're so good at doing stuff like this. I mean, everybody's going to try to, how are we going to remember? What is his legacy going to be when the sadness wears off? I told Tony's dad's going to always be Mr. Padre, but where's Randy going to fit into that scheme here as the years go on a little bit?
Because of all the stars, and Dave Winfield was a good guy, and I had a great relationship with Dave. I still do. And all those other guys, and the so-called cornerstones, and the stars, Jake Peavy, so forth and so on, Greg Vaughn, love all those guys. But in terms of personalities, as in, what do you need? Okay, what charity do you need me to be involved in? That's Tony Gwynn, and that's Randy Jones. And in terms of whatever you need. And I was so blessed to be, with him. Like I said, my 5 years of ambassadorship, he's there every night, and I watch him with people. And you can learn. You really can. You can learn from people like that. I always did that. You know how I did that in my life, later in my life, and changed a lot. I hope for the better. That I would watch what Jerry Coleman would do. And I would watch what Randy Jones would do in dealing with the public. And when I had a problem or thinking how I would deal with something, a speech or an appearance I would make, I would ask myself, what would Jerry do?
Yeah.
What would Randy do?
Yeah.
That's the legacy to me personally, that their personalities, their charm, their love for people is returned by all those people. And Randy stands out among all Padre players for having that. Like I said, just in spades, amazing. Simply amazing. One of my favorite stories, Hal Clement told me this, that when I was at Channel 8 on sports, Hal, of course, was the #1 sports guy at Channel 10, and a terrific one. And he wanted to do one of those, remember, the reporter involvement stories. So he called Randy and said, hey, I could hit you. I could hit you, Randy. and Lefty said, okay. What do you want to do? I'm going to come out with a camera at Jack Murphy, and I'll let you pitch to me, and we'll do a story on it. Okay, I'll see you out there, whatever. And he goes out there. Now, Hal tells me that RJ is throwing lollipops at him. He would throw 85, but now he's throwing 70. And Hal hit one really hard, right back up the box.
Oh.
And Randy had to dance out of the way. And so the next pitch, he knocks Hal down.
There we go. Sounds like RJ.
He knocks Hal down. He takes a couple of steps toward home plate, and he says, hey, don't you ever hit one back up the box against me. Stares at him, and then gets hysterical. Breaks out laughing. Hal breaks out laughing. That's Randy Jones.
Yeah. I think, and if he wanted to throw in high and tight, I don't think anyone ever had a better control than him, until maybe Maddox. I'm putting him on that level
RJ,
for pinpoint control, Ted.
Yeah, he didn't strike out many, but I'll tell you what, he didn't even walk anybody. He was going to go, here it is. Go ahead and try to hit it. Ground it out. Give me a double play. I know you will. And he had 90 strikeouts, even the Cy Young Award winner year. 90, nothing. It was not about that. I'm going to put it in play. I'm going to use my defense. I'm going to go get a drink of water. That's it.
Ted, thank you so much. We really appreciate you doing this today. I know you had probably a lot of people calling and asking. It was very nice of you to join us, and we appreciate it a lot. Thanks, sir.
I appreciate it. It was a tough night hearing the rumors, and then making a lot of calls all night long and trying to reach people, and now we know, and I miss him already.
Yeah, well said, as it always is by Ted Leitner. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Theodore.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
you bet.
Thank you. Ted Leitner on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. Criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Talking about relating to people and making them feel 100 feet tall. I told you guys this before the show, Tony. Randy Jones, in our friendship later with my wife knowing his wife, he called me lefty.
Yeah.
Now that could make you feel pretty good when one of the great lefties is calling you lefty. That's what he was about. All right. Thanks to Ted. More Gwynn and Chris. Chris Johnson will be next. Aztec football. He could be on his way to being an All-American cornerback. Looking forward to visiting with him. Later on, Jesse Agler with some more Randy Jones legacy talk as we continue on this Wednesday, 97.3 The Fan.
8:37 on the clock. If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. This hour is also brought to you by Toyota of Poway. It's the season to save at Toyota of Poway. Voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by the USA Today. The Black Friday sale event is on with brand new Toyotas in stock and ready to roll. Hurry to Toyota of Poway or toyotaofpoway.com and drive home happy this holiday. Chris Johnson probably will be pretty decorated when it's all said and done.
Already a mid-season All-American.
Is going to join us here shortly. Talk about the Aztecs and where they're sitting right now. I mean, they get the bounce-back win after a disappointing loss in Hawaii. They come back. They put on another stout defensive performance. They get enough points to get the victory. Now, it's not a done deal, but it certainly sits in their hands, Chris. They have an opportunity to win these next two games and head to a conference championship.
They got 2 games. If they win, they're in, right?
Yeah.
San Jose State is the first one. Now,
the tough one's that New Mexico
Don't
game.
overlook, though. We've heard this one before, but San Jose State is coming off a 55-10 loss last week to Nevada, which hadn't won a game. So you like your chances, but got to get the job done at home in the home finale, as it were. And then you go to New Mexico. Quick note on New Mexico. They lost earlier this year to San Jose State. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy because I think New Mexico's undefeated at home, where the game will be in Albuquerque.
Sounds like anyone can get got. That's what it sounds like.
Anybody can get got, and including the Aztecs, because we saw what happened to them in Hawaii. But, Chris Johnson's been a big part of this whole thing. And I watched him the other night against Boise State.
And this was after he missed the game.
That was
in
part
Hawaii,
of the Hawaii thing.
If I remember
he either
correctly.
missed it all or he missed some of it. But I saw him make a big tackle, I think it was the other night, and he was just geeked up the right way.
Yeah.
But even the official said, son, you're going to have to go back to the huddle.
I need you to calm down.
Yeah, I need you to calm. I want to see what he says about that. But he plays, you got to play a football, right? You got to be, your pants got to be on fire. So
they got a lot. They got a lot of that on the defensive side.
Yes, they did. It's been a good season for the defense. So anyway, and plus he announces himself on the team with that pick 6 in the Cal game.
Yes, he did
right away, and then he had another one either the next week or the week after. So he's legit.
Yeah, looks like I think he is calling in as we.
Yeah, Adam's having a nice chat with him right now. Are you Adam or no?
Eddie's ready to go.
Okay.
All right, let's check traffic first, and then we'll bring on the star DB, Chris Johnson.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Park 101 in Carlsbad, North County's football headquarters. We got a few problems out here, guys. One of them is this solo vehicle accident on the transition ramp, westbound 8 right of the southbound 163 connector ramp. Looks like a crash has cleared on northbound 805 right before the 8. And we got this accident blocking the fast lane, northbound 15 right before Miramar Road. Football is back, and Park 101 in coastal Carlsbad is your game day headquarters. 10,000 square feet, 19 TVs, Bills Backers Club specials, cocktails, and ice cold beer. Park 101 at the Carlsbad Village, North County's home for football. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, joining us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline, Chris Johnson, defensive back for the San Diego State Aztecs. Chris, thanks for your time today. How are you, my man?
Yes, sir. I'm doing great, man. How you guys doing?
We are doing fantastic. Looking forward to you guys getting back on the field this weekend. Let's just talk a little bit about your year specifically. You came in with some pretty high expectations, preseason first team all Mountain West. You've exceeded that and some. I mean, just talk about your year, getting prepared for this senior year and how it's gone to this point.
Yeah, yes, sir. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys for having me on today. Yeah, going back into this year at the start of the year, I made a choice to come back, back in the wintertime after, our disappointing last season. And I pretty much just had to sit down with all the coaches and told them, like, man, like, this is where I want to be. I want to stay here. I want to win here. And obviously, so far this season, that's what we're getting done. And hopefully we could just keep it going.
Chris, I want to talk about playing the corner a little bit here. But before that, I wanted to ask you about how you play a little bit with your hair on fire there. I saw a quick shot the other night. You made a tackle against Boise State, and, man, you were geeked up. I think even the official tried to calm you down a little bit. But that's the level. That's what you got to go out and play with. Where does that all come from?
Yes, sir. I feel like that just comes from being confident in myself and my brothers around me, for me to be able to react like that and know that, whatever goes down, my brothers got my back. And, yeah.
Chris, you guys play a certain kind of defense. You guys are kind of left on that island out there as defensive backs in this specific defense. I assume that it's a badge of honor to be able to lock your side down, but it's been a big part of why this defense has been able to really play at the level that they play. We had Dre White on earlier. He talked a lot about how you guys on the corners out there are really providing a little bit more time for them to get to the quarterback. Just talk about that specific part of it. You guys being on an island, playing man-to-man defense as much as you guys do, and having the success you guys are having.
Yeah, yes, sir. Being able to run this defense is just a really big compliment from the coaching staff for believing in us in the back end. Even as far as the safeties go. But a big part of playing man coverage is, it's man to man. So it's you against somebody else, but at the same time, we're relying on everybody else. So like how Trey said, we give them some extra time to get to the quarterback. Like, he's giving us less time that we have to cover because him and the rest of the D-line are getting to the quarterback. You know what I mean? Same thing goes with the linebackers, where maybe they're dropping off in a low hole or they're adding on to the blitz and, something happens. But we all work within one another, and it's just a huge compliment that we're able to help each other out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, we love watching it, man. This defense has been really, really fun to watch. And a lot of times, when the other team gets the ball, I get a little worried, but not this year. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to do. Chris has 3 picks, Tony. Took 2 of them back for touchdowns, so I was going to ask you what happened on the other one, why he didn't make it. But I'm just joking with you. Also, 8 pass breakups. So you're not just sitting back there looking for the pick. You are there. You're breaking plays up. You and Bryce on the other side and Dale, Sean Staley. I mean, you guys are always getting your hands on passes. You're not just guarding guys and tackling them when they catch it. Where did talk about how you were coached and how this defense makes all that work?
Yeah, for sure. Speaking for the corners mostly, Coach Sumler is just a great coach. I've been with him since I've been here since freshman year, so 4 years now going on. And, it's really just him, his time being here. I've been with him my whole career here, luckily enough, even with the staff changes. And he's just a great coach and developed me into, the player I am today, and also helped Bryce. When Bryce joined us a couple years back, helped him develop his game as well. And the calls that we're able to make because of the trust that coaches have in us is from us executing what they want, if that makes sense. So we could play man-to-man all game because the coach trusts us to do that. Yeah. And, since we're trusted, you get that confidence to go out and make a play, whether you jump in a route or you getting a pass breakup or making a big hit. That confidence just radiates around everybody.
Chris Johnson, semifinalist for the Jim Thorpe Award this season, joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Chris, you mentioned you've been here for 4 years. You're in your 4th season with the Aztecs. You've been in really 2 different coaching staffs. And you mentioned making the decision to come back this year after last season. What have you seen change? But clearly, this has been a terrific season to this point, and by no means is it over. You got 2 more games left, but it's been a clear change from what we've seen over the past 2 seasons to this year. You being a guy that has experienced it all, what has been the biggest difference for you?
For me, it's just guys are bought in, especially as far as the defensive side. We return basically every person who was on the defense last season, and to be playing at the level we're at just goes to show that we literally could have been doing this last season.
Right.
So the biggest difference to me is that guys are just bought in and trusting the plan and doing the plan. It's not it's not like me ball. Like we're playing as a team, we're playing for each other instead compared to last year when there's not a lot to play for but yourself. In that situation when we're a poor team, that's kind of the result you get.
All right, Chris, tell me how you do it. All right, you're out there. It's you and another guy, and he knows where he's going to go. You don't know where he's going to go. How do you stay on these guys? How much of the technique can you give us? Or, tell us a little bit so we can understand it. I think it's remarkable, the coverage, not only you, but most cornerbacks, how you're able to even get the job done. Where do you key on?
Right. So, I mean, you said at the start, like the guy knows where he's going, but I don't. But, that's really one of the biggest parts of the game is more than often, I know where the guy's going. If, you know what I mean? Based off splits, based off tells, stuff that we study in meetings with the coaches and things we go over, tendencies. So really that's how all the great DBs play. They already know what's coming, based on down and distance. If it's 3rd and 10, you could expect them to go sit at the sticks. So like I'm already being able to eliminate a bunch of routes because they just won't run these routes on certain plays, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Peel the curtain back a little bit. Like, so you guys go in, and clearly the coaches have been looking at film. You guys are looking at film. Is it a race to see who can get the tell fastest, like as you guys are watching this? Or is it like you guys come together for your position meetings, and this is just something that you guys are pounding in each other all week? Look at his foot placement here, or whatever it may be.
Right.
Are those things that you guys are like itching to see who can get to first, or is it just kind of come as the week goes and you guys are looking at this consistently?
I say it probably comes as the week goes, and somebody recognizes it earlier. Obviously, we're not being stingy with each other. We're all brothers in that room and all want to help each other. So, whoever finds it first, it really doesn't matter because we're gonna let the rest of the guys know about it. Like how you said, like. Sometimes if a receiver has his outside foot up, he does something more often than when he has his inside foot up. And, it's just stuff that, like you said, through the week is pounded and pounded in so that when you see it Saturday, it's like when you see the answer on a multiple choice test, like it's like lit up green right there for you and you know it's coming.
If all of that sounds really hard, understand that Chris is an all academic athlete as well, right? So smart in the classroom and smart on the field. Chris Johnson, San Diego State's great corner, is our guest. You're going up against quarterback this weekend, San Jose State. I think he's number 2 in the nation in passing yardage. Sounds like you'll get a lot of opportunities to knock some away. Yes, Chris, sir. How much can you not wait for this game?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for this game. I'm excited for every game that we're playing that weekend. It happens to be who we're playing, and they're a great opponent. And, I'm really excited. They have a great quarterback, great receivers, a good offense in general. And we have a great defense, and we're going to go head-to-head. And, whoever comes out top comes out top. And, we're not shying down away from anybody.
Well, Chris, you guys got 2 games remaining. It seems like the ball is in your court. You win these next 2 games.
I'm saying they got 4 games remaining. No, they got 3. They got the 2, then they got the championship, which they're going to win, and then they're going to go to
sneak into the playoff.
They're going to the NCAA playoff. They're going to go down to Georgia, and they're going to beat Adam Klug's team. Remember, you heard it here first, Chris.
Hey, man, we're mostly worried about what's going on.
Yeah, that's what you said. Good answer.
Good
Very
answer,
good.
Chris.
Very
hey,
good.
Man, we appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us, man. Good luck this weekend.
Good luck, Chris.
And
yes, sir, I appreciate you guys having me on.
You guys got the city behind you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys.
Chris Johnson, Jim Thorpe Award semifinalist.
Not bad.
That's not bad at all.
I'm impressed. The 3 interceptions are one thing. 2 touchdowns, those have to work out. The 8 breakups, that's the part.
Yeah.
Tony, getting his hands on the ball all the time.
They're all impressive, right?
Because all of those guys back there in that secondary.
A lot of DBs can break it up. A lot of them can't catch and then finish off the interception. So,
well, he's also 3rd on the team in tackles. So not to, get on our old guy Dion, but he's not afraid to stick his nose in there on a sweep either.
Yeah, no, he's not.
I like it.
Confident young man. Yeah. Certainly. Enjoyed that conversation. Remember, All guests join us via the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit David P. Shapiro David P. Shapiro Law.com.
I can't believe Chris over there, by the way.
What happened?
You ever hear coaches tell their players not to pay attention to the media, let them fill their heads?
Oh, and I said
Chris
that.
is over
He didn't
here.
take the bait, though. He didn't take the bait.
He's ready. I'm just
He
testing
had a
it.
great response. But Chris, I got you winning this game, that game, going, winning this
You're
championship.
just mad
winning
because
that
I said
one.
we're going to beat Georgia. And you know
I'm
it can
not-
happen. Who's that lousy quarterback you got down there for Georgia? That guy.
He doesn't believe it.
Oh, I know he doesn't believe it.
Blame Chris if SDSU loses.
Oh, I have a feeling that the folks listening.
Oh, yeah,
will
they'll
be
blame me. They'll blame me anyway. So what difference does it make?
They will be blaming him when this is all said and done, I'm sure.
Yeah. I was looking up some of the scouting stuff for the pros, where he might go. There seems
I know
like
you're so into the NFL draft, Chris.
I'm not, but I was curious to see where he would be rated. And it seemed to say kind of a early to mid round, earlier mid type. And so I'm trying to look up like, what is it they want? Because you get to that level, Tony, right? There's something.
Yeah.
And they said the only thing is he's got all of the skills and everything. And then they give you the
speed,
straight line speed. So he can do everything every cornerback can do, but instead of maybe a 4.2, he's running a 4.4. He's got, that'll be what he works on.
I'm willing
Isn't
to
that
bet
crazy how they get to that degree of?
If he's running a 4.4,
Well, you know what I mean.
He's going to slide up
4.7 to 4.5, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's probably just got to get another, and he's probably faster than we could ever imagine now.
I know they train to
they do
to cheat that 40 yards so they can inch off a couple tenths of a second. Yeah, for sure.
0.2 of a second can
That's
be
the
like $1
difference
million.
of a 4.7 and a 4.5. I mean, that's a
know.
huge difference.
Incredible that is what it comes down to with these guys in the NFL level.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, to break we go. When we return, 4:00 hour. Chris versus the fans. 833-288-0973. Get in line. More Gwynn and Chris.
you. 4 o'clock hour, we go. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Adam Klug sitting in today for Mr. Scraby on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. Thanks to Chris Johnson, Aztec cornerback, a star on the field, and I'd say a star on the radio. Good having him on. Aztecs take on San Jose State this weekend. Final home game of the season. I know that one of the things they're doing at Snapdragon, they're rolling back prices on the concessions. You can get like cheap hot dogs and sodas and fun stuff like that.
I wasn't quite listening to what
That's
that
okay.
part was.
Just talking a little bit about the promotions for the Aztec San Jose State football game. I also wanted to mention, we did the
That's the same promotion that they were running last week, right? When all the rain kind of came through, and
this is well, I don't know. Were they doing the cheaper
I thought they
prices on hot dogs and
I
sodas?
don't know if it
last
was
week?
hot dogs, but they were definitely running some deals to try to get folks in the building.
Go to the game, people. Come on. Help these kids out, man. They deserve your support. If you're upset with something else, fine. But these kids, they're playing a great season for you. Also wanted to mention, we talked about Aztec basketball. They got the UNLV or the Las Vegas tournament next for them Monday. They'll take on Michigan, coming off the loss last night unexpectedly to Troy. Also next week, Tony, people need to know about this. It's the third year the Rady's Invitational's in town. So if you're a college basketball fan, now the Aztecs are out. They're in Las Vegas, but Florida's coming here.
Yep.
Next week.
It's top 10
I think TCU's one of the 4 teams. So the tournament is at UCSD, which is, I say one thing that's really nice about going to a game at USD. You're right there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's this little small REMAC arena. You can sit really close. They got Florida, Wisconsin, Providence, and TCU. Starts next Thursday, also Friday at, did I say UCSD?
You said UCSD.
It's USD. According to our friend Rick Schloss.
Okay.
USD.
USD.
I think it was at UCSD.
That the Jenny Craig Pavilion, right?
USD's Jenny Craig. UCSD is REMAC, and San Diego State is Viejas. All right, now that we got that settled.
Boom.
4:03, we have Jesse Agler coming up. Talk a little bit more about the life and times of our friend Randy Jones, the Padres' first Cy Young Award winner, passed away at the age of 75. And we're talking about that throughout the show today. And Jesse will share some of his memories, and he'll be on a little bit. But right now it's time to play some Chris versus the Fans. If you win today, you qualify for a shot at the grand prize. All I need to do is get to the right page.
I can hear you shuffling pages.
I know.
You had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself.
Howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, qualify for a chance to win a trip for 2 to see Sammy Hagar in Las Vegas. You'd also get 2 tickets to the March 20th show and a 2-night stay at Park MGM, plus a $100 gas card. Sammy Hagar returning to Las Vegas with his best of all worlds Las Vegas residency. Get ready to rock with your favorite hits from his Van Halen days, also Sammy's solo hits and more. Only in Las Vegas. It'll be March 11th through 21st. Also, coming back September 18th through 26th, Dolby Live at Park MGM. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com, or win them and go see Sammy on March 20th. Adam Klug going to take the reins today. Explain, do you have the rules handy, Adam? I know you like to do this official stuff.
Oh, I love to do this official stuff.
Yes, I know you do.
Adam, are you going to do the questions too?
I wasn't planning on it, but I can't. I've got the questions in front of me, so I know the answer.
I got the questions, so
okay.
good. Yeah.
Tony's got this.
Right.
Do you want to do the rules?
You just give me the contestant, and then you give me the rules as well.
Yeah,
Adam does the rules.
All right.
Tony's not in Tony's
The game is 3 rounds. Each round gets progressively more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on to the next round. If you get it wrong, Chris gets a chance to answer it. If he gets it right, you're out. You go to the next caller. If he gets it wrong, you go to the next round.
Very good. And if you're first time,
Playa.
Is that hazing? You made me do it by myself?
No, it was the rhythm of it was off, so I wasn't ready.
we were a little off.
Yeah.
Do we want to try it again?
Sure.
No.
No, okay, maybe not.
I'm not in the mood.
Neither did I. I didn't want to do it again.
All right, who's our first contestant?
Let's go with Neil in San Carlos.
Hello, Neil. How are you, my friend?
Hello, gentlemen.
Hi,
Doing
Neil.
Great, thank you.
Here we go. First question. Which NBA team entered today with only one loss on the season?
Oh man, I know nothing about the NBA.
That makes two of you when Scraby's here.
I will say OKC.
Hey, you nailed
great
it.
Guess.
You
Great
got it.
guess. On to question
You're
number
good,
2.
Neil. You moved on.
Let's try a different sport then. What NFL QB has been sacked the most time so far this season?
I'm gonna say Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. That is incorrect.
No good, huh?
That is incorrect. Mr. Ello.
Yes, thank you. Don't keep track of how many times guys get sacked. Keep track of how many sacks my defense doesn't get each week. Fantasy sports. It's been sacked the most. How about Tua? I don't know.
Both are wrong.
No, that's good news for you, Neil. You move
Neil,
on.
you'll move on to the round 3. The answer, Cam Ward.
Oh, should have known.
Yeah.
The young guys always take a beating.
They take a
don't
beating.
Yeah, young
when
guys
you get drafted first round or first pick,
that means you're
expect
going to
get
take a beating.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just how
Can
it
I
usually
just give
goes.
Neil some credit for actually venturing a guess when he clearly didn't know it, rather than just doing the "I'm not going to give Chris a wrong answer"?
What's wrong with that? That is a,
No, we
that
like
is a strategy.
I'm crediting Neil for taking a stab.
Neil,
at
hey,
it.
listen, I appreciate you stepping on a ledge. It might not have been the best strategy. It worked out for your favor.
Worked
this
out
time.
nicely.
Here we go. Question number 3.
For the win.
Currently, only 2 cities have already hosted the Summer Olympics 3 times.
Oh, goodness.
Which 2 cities?
I will say Los Angeles and Paris.
What was the second one?
Paris.
Paris. Los Angeles and Paris.
I think he got one because I'm pretty sure Paris is correct. But the second one is not yet L.A. Believe L.A.'s got a third one coming up soon. But who else has done it 3 times besides Paris? London? Oh! Wow.
See,
Bad
Neil,
luck for you, Neil. That
Neil,
was
nice
a
job.
pretty big guess there.
That is a reason why you don't guess. Because he got the one, and not to say that you would
I think I would have had that.
because you would have got
but
it.
London
anyway.
was the one I really wasn't sure. So
London, and he nailed it.
sorry
All right,
about
so
that.
we'll have to
Bad
go to
luck for
another
you, Neil.
contestant.
Yeah.
Should we try our biggest fan, Rod in San Diego?
Hey,
Why
hey,
not?
Rod is a big fan winner of previous times.
Rob, how are you,
Well
my
said,
friend?
I think.
Here we go. First question. Rob, what Padre won a platinum glove in 2025?
Well, I know the answer to that, but let me get my shout outs out of the way. Fernando Tatis, by the way. Shout out to the chat fam and much love to the 97.3.
Hold on. Can we turn the music down in the background here? First of all, he got it right. Rob got it right. Give it your shout out again so everybody can hear it this time.
Shout out to the chat fam on the YouTube and much love to all of you at the 97.3 station.
We appreciate you, Rob. Chat, I hope you show Rob some love. He just showed y'all some love. Oh, my gosh. See, we got to learn the sign language that Adam gives. When
We don't
he's in.
have sign language yet.
He's giving sign language.
We still don't
and
know
I'm-
Scrabies. Don't know Adams for sure.
All right, let's go to the next round. Rob, what QB is reportedly starting for the Jets in their next game?
Joe Namath is coming back.
They wish.
I was going to say Johnny Unitas, but you took that one from
Right,
me.
there you go, yeah.
I'm going to post this and give that one. And Tony, by the way, it's Rod, dog, Rod. I'm going to say pass to Mr. Ello. Go ahead,
Passing,
Chris.
huh? Oh, boy. Terod Taylor, I believe, is the answer. Sorry, Rod. Always good talking to you, man. You are the guy, though. We appreciate you a lot, Rod. Thank you so much, man.
My bad, Rod. I thought I was saying Rod, but apparently
I think you were, but
apparently
he
thought I was hearing Rod.
Not bad.
You know, my fault. Anyway, next contestant.
Next time he's on, I want to hear
Rod.
Yeah,
I'll go with that next time.
Yeah,
my bad. Let's go to David in La Jolla.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, my friend. Here we go.
Hang on one second. Scravy screwed me out of my first question last time around, so do I get the first one for free or not?
That's right.
Oh, I remember this. I don't remember all the particulars, but I know Scrooby messed up somehow.
You know what? We'll move you to question
Move him to
number
number 2.
Here we go.
Sure.
All right, Dave. What city did MLB remove the All-Star game from in 2021?
2021, tough.
Ooh.
That's
I'm going to say Miami.
Miami. I think it was Phoenix. Ooh, I missed it.
It was the ATL.
It was.
Yes.
I don't remember what happened.
They got it back the very next year. I can't remember. What was it?
There was some law. There was something.
Voting rights.
Oh, that's what it was. Voting rights.
It wasn't
laws.
Phoenix.
No.
Maybe they moved it to Phoenix.
No, they think they did it.
I don't know.
It might have been.
That's good for you, though.
Didn't they move the Major League Baseball All-Star game out of Atlanta that year too?
That
was the question, actually. So.
Oh, I thought you said soccer. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
Either way, you're into the next. You're into the next round.
Yeah.
Here we go. Question number 3.
Scravy's not the only one who can screw up. I can do it too. So.
That's true.
Oh, an Indianapolis reporter uncovered Deflategate after the Colts lost to the Patriots in what game?
AFC Championship game.
Good enough.
We got ourselves a winner.
Yeah,
nice job.
Good. That was
Dave?
the AFC title game. I think it was 49-7 too. Wasn't even close.
It's funny.
He didn't need to deflate at all. They won by 40 points.
It's funny that that it came down to a reporter out of Indianapolis that had to go down and do the detective work on the footballs and didn't make a report on it.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, nice job. Adam Klug will get your information on the other side. We're going to get to break. When we come back, Jesse Agler, my partner, joins us to talk a little Randy Jones as well as some Padres here on Padres Radio Network. No, not Padres Radio Network. Gwynn and Chris. Sorry.
From the
There's a Roadrunner. Meet. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble. And Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well. But our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well. So. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
We are just leading
10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel. He wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time.
There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me.
As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are league 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel. He wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time.
There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me.
As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are actually 10 now, and it's getting really windy. Actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off a birdie, and I just hit my defense.
21 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Adam Klug sitting in for Mr. Matt Scravy. All guests on the 97.3 The Fan hotline join us via the David P. Shapiro Fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Let's bring on my partner, Jesse Agler. Jesse, how are you, my friend? It's been a tough day for Padre fans as we mourn Randy Jones. How's your day going?
Yeah, going okay, T. Thanks, and good to be with you. And yeah, that's not the kind of news you like to wake up to, obviously. And sad day. I got to know Randy before I got to know you. When I first got to San Diego in 2014, he was one of the first people I got to know. He was a huge part of the Social Hour show we did back in the day, and I learned a lot about the Padres and the history of the Padres and sort of the zeitgeist here in San Diego from Randy, who's a proud Powegian guy who's made his home here for a lot of years, helped me really understand, I think, the fan base and the team and the history, and then obviously baseball. And on top of all of that, just an all-time character in the best way possible. And, this isn't maybe fair or something I should cop to, but I sometimes judge baseball players by how well they would fit into a baseball movie. And it's you love the ones who would fit in seamlessly into a baseball movie. Randy Jones would fit beautifully into a good baseball movie with that personality, with that character, and with the way he loved to talk about the game. So I loved the man. He was wonderful to me. And look, from a Padres historical perspective, he was the first star that the Padres franchise ever has. I'm sure you guys have talked about. So it's a big loss. There's no question.
Yeah, you hit it. I mean, if you did the movie Central Casting, they would spit out Randy Jones. So he'd come walking in and go, "Yeah, I'm your baseball player," and that would be it. The thing is, Jesse, you grew up on the East Coast, and I mean, I know the Padres. I don't know how much the word gets around, but you talked about it there. He was the first star we had, because there was no Padres before Randy Jones was here. I mean, I know they had a team for 5 years, but nobody heard much about it. When were you able to first kind of made aware of what Randy Jones had done, as a Padre? Was it when you got out here, or did that transcend even that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew the name because he was a Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah.
And, I was the kind of kid who grew up and I knew the names of the Cy Young Award winners because I was that kind of lunatic. But I didn't really have an appreciation for what he meant to the Padres until I got out here. And Bill Center, who, I also worked with on that show, made sure in a way that only Bill can, that I understood Randy's import to the Padres, and is hey, you make sure, you're respectful of this guy because, as you just said, before Randy came along, the Padre roster was just, filled with, a bunch of guys that, just kind of floated in and out. He was the first anchor that this team had from a marketing standpoint. And boy, was he fun to watch pitch. I mean, you go back and you watch some of the clips, and they're hard to find, some of them, obviously. But just as he liked to say, and I'm not going to do the impression as much as I really, really want to, but I'm not going to do the impression. And I have a decent RJ, but I'm not going to do it now. But it was his whole line about, just being a sinker baller and throwing strikes. And he always used to say, hitters are dumb. You just throw the ball right over the middle. They're going to get themselves out 8 out of 10 times. And it was that was just so perfect. And I loved talking pitching with him. And I guess I did the impression, but it was, he was a guy who won a Cy Young Award. He started an All-Star game the year after he got a save in the All-Star game. I still think no one's ever done that except for him. I mean, that was somebody that Padre fans were able to rally around in, the mid 70s when, again, there really wasn't much else to rally around. And then, thankfully a few years later, Tony, your dad, comes onto the scene, and Nettles and Goose and that first great Padre team kind of takes off. But Randy was the reason to care about the Padres for a couple of years there when there weren't a whole lot of reasons at all.
Jesse Agler joins us here, voice of the Padres. And Jesse, in our job, we get a chance to kind of mingle with a lot of different people. Often you and I will go down to the field, and RJ's down there with a family that he's brought in as a part of his foundation. And he never misses an opportunity to make sure he comes and grabs you. Like, hey, come say hello to this young man or this family. He truly cared about the people that he was around, and it seemed like he was always looking to be of help somewhere.
He put real roots down here. He's an Orange County guy, so it's not hard, but he put real roots down here. And I think many decades ago he understood the military community in San Diego, what life was like for so many of those folks, and so he dedicated endless hours, most of which I'm sure went unseen to most of us. Trying to just make life a little bit more fun or easier for military families here in San Diego. And yes, we would see him down on the field, and he'd literally grab you by the collar and just, bring you over. It was like, we're always happy to do it. We're never going to say no, but he didn't even bother asking the question. It was Junior, Jesse, come here. That whole thing.
That was good.
And,
right that sounded like
yeah. I got a little more into it the second time.
I
kind of half-assed it the first time. But he cared so much about this franchise and this community and the people who inhabit it, and he gave endless amounts of himself to all of it.
Jesse Agler, of course, is with us, voice of the Padres, talking a little bit about the life and times of Randy Jones. One of the things I know you would have appreciated, Jesse, had you been the broadcaster back when Randy was pitching, was that the games only took about 20 minutes. That's another part of his legacy. This guy used to go out there and he didn't strike anyone out. So ball were put in play and you were out of there in an hour and 45 minutes and, could go do something
else after
get out of there. So he must have been well loved by the broadcasting crew and everybody in those days.
There's no doubt. What was the famous game where he and Jim Cobb went head to head, right? And I think it was like an hour 28 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it goes back to his whole philosophy of pitching. As he would say, and again, this is Randy's words, not mine, hitters are dumb and they're going to get themselves out. So just let them hit the ball. It drove him crazy when guys would nibble and not throw strikes and, not just be on the attack on the mound. And look, he understood the arithmetic. The reality is that, he's right. I mean, not that you want to throw meatballs every time, but, he made you think about it in a way that maybe you didn't think about it previously.
Jesse, let you out of here on this last one. I mean, in current Padre news, we've hired a new manager. We haven't talked to you since then, but Padres going with Craig Stammen. Just give us a quick thought before we let you get out of here of Stam. I know you've been around him as much as I have.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously a tremendous guy and a guy who had, most importantly, I think, tremendous respect in that clubhouse. I'm sure we talked about it on the air at the time, Tony, but as you guys know, it's not normal that a middle reliever would have tremendous clubhouse clout. That's
right.
That's not a thing that happens in baseball. Like a closer of a Trevor Hoffman sort of pedigree, maybe, right? A Hall of Fame type guy. A starting pitcher, certainly among the other pitchers, sure. An all-star third baseman, absolutely. But very rarely is your 6th, 7th inning guy able to stand up in the middle of the clubhouse. And kind of have this sort of audience that Craig had when he was pitching. And that probably tells you everything you need to know about him and how he kind of comports himself and how he sort of has that respect of the guys in that room. He's also somebody who understands the game, I think, really in a very deep way. I loved what he said in the press conference about, as somebody who might come in to have to pitch in the 2nd inning if the starter was getting knocked around, or who might be asked to come in the 8th inning. He was always on alert out in the bullpen. Right. And so he became very attuned to sort of, how pitching changes work and the strategies that go with that, which obviously will serve him well as a manager. But look, more than anything else, he's a leader of men, and that's the most important job of a big league manager these days.
What is Jesse doing now? We peel back the veneer. Do you get to rest the whole off season? I'm joking, of course. What are you up to?
He's definitely not resting.
I know.
So my son had a doctor's appointment today, Jonah. We're in the car together. You want to say hi?
Okay.
Hi.
That's Jonah. And so we are currently meandering our way from an appointment down at Rady's back up to San Marcos at rush hour. So we are pulled off currently in the parking lot at the Sabre Springs MTS Center, just so we had a chance to talk and not drive while we're talking, of course. So, just a lot of family stuff catching up. We're taking a trip tomorrow to go visit my sister. And, that's kind of it. We do holidays, have a normal life for a couple of months before it ramps back up.
Yeah, he doesn't have very much time. It's already
like 50
December
days away.
here,
I
so.
know. Crazy.
Jesse, enjoy your trip, my friend.
Thanks,
Thank you for coming on, man.
Always good to chat with you guys.
Appreciate you.
Jesse Agler, voice of the Padres there, giving us his thoughts on RJ and Padres' new manager, Craig Stammen. All right, let's roll away. Let's get the break. On the other side, it is Adam Klug's Big 5 day. Can't wait to get into it. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
times of Randy Jones, who passed away at the age of 75. Appreciate you all being out there today. Hasn't been the easiest of shows, but I think it's good all being together here and talking a little baseball and talking a little Randy. The famous game that Jesse mentioned against Jim Cott and the Phillies actually happened in the 1977 season. It was the year after his Cy Young, early in the year, and Padres beat the Phillies. Final score was actually 4-1, Tony. 1 hour and 29 minutes. Can you believe it?
Sweet music.
129.
Are you kidding me?
You'd be home at what? 6:30? You'd be home at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 129, 6:40 game.
Yeah.
9 o'clock. 9. You'd be out.
8:10.
You'd be getting out. You'd be getting out at 8:10. Yeah,
8:10.
Wow.
Randy had 1 walk, 1 strikeout in that game. That was a lot for him. He actually pitched a 10-inning game once against the Giants, complete game. And in that 10 innings, had no strikeouts and no walks.
Hey, put it in play.
Everybody put the ball in play.
Put it in play.
Yeah. All right. Let's check a little traffic, put that into play, and then go to Adam Klug, sitting in with today's Big Five, and he's usually really good at these.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Got a few things that might slow you down a bit. Southbound side of the 15 before the 8, a stall vehicle being cleared out of middle lanes. Southbound side of the 805 past University, crash over the right shoulder. Then in the South Bay, South 805, Palm Avenue off-ramp, a collision. North 5 Coastline near Santa Fe Drive. There is a crash over the right shoulder and got a stall eastbound 78 near San Marcos Boulevard. Got the left lane blocked. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, you're sorry, do you need an introduction? Adam Klug, ladies and gentlemen,
like,
today's Big Five.
Where's he at? Did he leave the building?
Just saying hello.
Hi, Adam.
Hello.
We're going to start with number 5, correct? That's how we do
Number
this.
5.
That's right. Yes, very good.
That's how we do things around here. It was announced earlier today that tennis legend Roger Federer will be inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. He was voted in his first year of eligibility. Federer is third on the all-time men's Grand Slams leaderboard with 20, behind only Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. Chris, tennis expert.
Yeah, thank you.
Where does Roger Federer rank all-time among the men's tennis players?
Yeah, it's hard to put him ahead of Djokovic now, because Djokovic is up to 24. But if you had a tournament and put Federer as the #1 seed, I don't think a lot of people could really argue it. That's how, great he was, I thought. But it's probably the numbers are just pure numbers are going to put him behind Djokovic. Nadal also had a better record against Federer head-to-head. So there's that. It's interesting, though, because those are the 3 best of all time, and they all played at the same era.
I think Nadal and Djokovic caught Federer at the back end of his prime.
Maybe a little bit.
I think if you put Federer in his prime and all of them in their
you
prime,
might be right, Tony.
I think I'm giving it to Federer.
That's a really good point.
And I wasn't a fan of his at first, but over time, watching him, even as he started to, you could tell he was kind of getting to the back end of that prime. He was still so good,
and he was so smooth and so classic.
Yeah,
out
man.
there.
Like I grew an appreciation for Roger Federer.
he did not look like he was putting a lot of effort into it, where everybody else was struggling to look as good as they
looks
were.
like he's dripping, like squeezing every ounce of what he got out there to win. And I think it comes a little easier for Djokovic, but I still thought when Federer was in his prime, those guys hadn't got to theirs yet.
And he owned the most important tournament, right, in Wimbledon.
He won that every time.
Every time.
Yeah, he's right there. Like I said, if you put him first seed, you wouldn't be wrong.
No.
Number 4.
Joe Burrow suffered a toe injury in Week 2 against Jacksonville and hasn't played since. He returned to practice in a limited capacity last week, with reports saying he would be able to return to the field in 2 weeks and maybe next week. But Burrow practiced in full today, and Adam Schefter reported that the team isn't ruling out a potential return this Sunday. The Bengals are currently 3-7. Tony, does bringing back their franchise quarterback make sense to you in a potentially lost season?
No, but he's playing. He practiced in full today?
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing. There's no doubt. And this week. I think he's going to play this week. And, it goes to show you, like, when you have leaders like Burrow and they disappear. I mean, Jamar Chase acting out of character. He's spitting on people. I mean, everybody is just kind of – things are falling apart around the Bengals when their dude is –
What are you talking about? He didn't spit on him? He says he didn't.
Okay. Unfortunately for Jamar, we got about 1,000 cameras.
It'd be easy to believe him if we didn't just see the spittle coming out of his mouth.
The loogie coming out of his mouth.
We have eyes.
Yeah. But I think he's going to play. I think it's a mistake. I shouldn't say that. It's not the safest way to go about it, considering you're already 3-8, 3-7, whatever it is, and it's very unlikely that you're going to catch anybody. AFC is already. I mean, the Chiefs are at the bottom, and you're not catching them. You're not. And so I think it's silly, but they're going to do it. And, I'm never going to be mad at a dude for wanting to go out and compete.
What do you think, Chris?
I just think, I don't know exactly if he'll play or not. I just think Joe Burrow should be a candidate for MVP every single year, because it's pretty clear to me that when he's on the team, the Bengals are one of the best in all of football. And when he's not on the team, they're one of the worst in all of football. So is anybody more valuable than that? Right? Where have they been since when he's hurt? They're terrible.
Joe Burrow is NFL owners' dream. It keeps you covered from having to be really good at your job in terms of putting talent out there, enough talent to win. Got enough offensive talent, but clearly the defensive side has been left unaddressed.
True that.
Number 3.
The Colorado Buffaloes are 3-7, and in his third year, Coach Prime insists he's still the right man for the job, saying, quote, "You've got the right man. I'm going to prove that to you. Just give me an opportunity and a little more time," end quote. The contract extension that Colorado gave him says he'll stay long-term after signing through 2029, which makes a quick change expensive. However, Sanders has faced health issues this year, and athletic director Rick George is leaving. Meanwhile, in Austin, Texas Longhorns coach Steve Sarkisian shot down reports he was ready to bolt the Lone Star State, saying those reports are absolutely untrue and he isn't going anywhere. Chris,
yes.
Toss up. Which coach will be there longer at their current school? Coach Prime or Coach Sark?
First of all, I appreciate the Dick Enberg reference to the great game show Sports Challenge, which I tried to introduce you and Scraby to many years. There's videos of it. But at the beginning, they would ask a question of both teams. Whoever buzzed in first got the control. But Dick Enberg called it the toss-up question. So thank you, Adam.
Did you know you were doing that?
No, I was absolutely taking it from PTI.
I think Dion will be there longer.
Yeah.
I think they're going to give him a shot. He's already done something for that school. So you got to give him another year or two to get it right now. I think, they'll give him that chance. I don't believe Sark. I think Sark can't wait to go to the next thing. He just seems like that kind of guy to me.
Tony, what do you think?
Okay, let me focus on the question.
Who will be at their current school longer?
I think it would be Dion. I think Dion got to start with a school that had nothing. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think they won one game before he was there.
And he's going to duplicate that this year.
And then he pretty much flipped that on its head the following year and then improved on it the second year. So I think he's going to be given the opportunity. I think possibly the thing that could come out of the LSU situation and what's my man just signed with Virginia Tech that you can't stand? James Franklin, right?
Yeah.
I think the thing that could come out of that is teams maybe realize that they're going to have to be a little bit more patient, or you're going to end up with these huge buyouts that are costing people their jobs.
What if
coaches.
LSU hires another big name coach and they do poorly after 2 years? Are you going to have 2 buyout guys on the payroll?
I think at this point, you're going to have to stick with these guys a little bit longer. These payouts are costing you more than it is to keep them for just another year before, you can maybe move on. I don't know. I think Deion's definitely going to be there longer than Stark. I don't necessarily think Stark's going to go nowhere. I don't know if he can go nowhere. Where do you go from Texas?
And where do you go?
What's the next step up from Texas?
Well, also, does anybody think he's a good coach?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Why is he a coveted candidate? He's underachieved. They were the preseason #1 team in the country.
But that's not his fault. We said that
during his fault.
It's not his fault that they gave him the #1 ranked team.
Oh.
Why did they give him #1 rank? Because Manning was on there? There's nothing. You lose a quarterback and you put a guy who hasn't started in there, you're going to be the #1 team in the nation? I don't think that part was his fault. I do think they're underachieving.
Right, that's what I was saying.
But in terms of that didn't help his case, them putting them #1 when they probably shouldn't have been #1.
Number 2.
Giants running back Cam Skattebo is out for the season after suffering a gruesome leg injury. He sat front row earlier this week at a WWE event at Madison Square Garden, and he was written into the script getting into a spat with wrestler Dominic Mysterio.
What script? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Dominic
What are you
Mysterio.
talking about?
Oh, come on.
There's no script. Huh?
Stop it.
They got into a stare down, and Skattebo got shoved, and he shoved Mysterio back. A little physical altercation. He's catching a lot of heat from the New York media for doing this while rehabbing from a pretty gruesome injury. Tony, you have any issue with what Skattebo did?
I don't understand some of the young folks' decision these days. I mean, we saw your leg mangled, basically. Right. And we know that you're on a scooter. And I know it's scripted, and I know these wrestlers are professionals.
He got shoved in the chest.
I saw it. He got shoved pretty good. And I just imagine on a roller, like, that ain't like the easiest thing. I'm glad he's all right and nothing happened, but I'm just sorry. You got to know where you are. In a place like New York, I'm glad you didn't get hurt. But even though you didn't get hurt, look how much you're in the media now. And now people are going to question whether you care. All these things that are unnecessarily like shots you're taking for no reason. I get it. You can show up to the WD. You could probably hang out backstage. No one would ever know. But you want to be a part of the show. I just think that I don't see anything wrong with it, but I think you're opening yourself up for the criticism that's completely unnecessary.
Chris, where do you stand?
I don't understand why there's a problem here. After all, MLS players go and play real games for their country and get hurt in between the first and second round of the MLS Cup playoffs. What's going on with that? Skattebo is just entertaining the folks. No, you're right, Tony. I mean, that's an easy one. Of course, he shouldn't have done this.
I'm
surprised the Giants didn't get in on this and say, "What are you doing?"
Saying. Like, I agree with Chris that it's in a large, like in a micro, it's not that big a deal, but like in New York, like the biggest media market ever, you're on like it's not like you went to like Broadway show or you got it was like you're in the middle of a WWE thing. Everybody's
on
watching
national TV.
Right. I don't know.
Tony's worked up on it.
We wonder why they have to.
I often am defending these guys most of the time.
Well,
like I want them to have their freedom, but you got to be like kind of smart about how you move.
This is why would they put into a contract no skiing, no this, no that. They got to now put in no WWE wrestling because these guys are idiots. They'll go do it.
Number 1.
Reports have swirled that the Mavericks will trade Anthony Davis in the wake of GM Nico Harrison's firing. Davis was the key piece Dallas received in return for Luka Doncic last year. But Mark Cuban, who is now back advising the Mavs,
they want him back now.
told The Athletic that the team will not trade Davis because they're trying to win right now.
Yeah.
Dallas is currently 4-11. Chris?
Yes.
Do you think the Mavericks should trade the unibrow?
I'm not 100% sure. Where's Kyrie? Is he out?
He's
Yeah, he
out
tore his
until about mid-season.
I still
They
think
say he's ahead of schedule, big time.
I still think a team with Kyrie and AD and with Flag coming along, I think they have enough there.
Yeah.
They believe in Jason Kidd. Obviously, they're going to fall out here, and it'll be hard to climb back, but they could still get there. So no, I would not yet trade Anthony Davis. But I'm glad you brought up the name Mark Cuban because I read this today. I was surprised. They're honestly saying that they brought Mark Cuban back into the fold to help get Nico Harrison out. Wow. So Cuban is like the guy that is like kind of doing everything again.
Sorry, too late.
Yeah, well, maybe that could be true.
Luke was a Laker.
Right, that's true, too.
No love lost over here from Tony.
No, Tony loves this.
Listen,
but, yeah.
I think it's a great idea for this new ownership to bring Mark Cuban back. He had a ton of success when he was there.
He's also not the GM, or a GM, right?
No, I don't think. I think he's advising.
Yeah,
is what he is.
Well, he still owns 27% of the team.
I hate the idea that either you're tanking. If you're not winning, you're tanking. I hate that idea. Like, you can still try to put together a good season.
Preach.
And that's where we are in sports now. It feels like either you are winning or you're tanking. There's no middle ground.
And you decide after 15 games what you're going to do.
100%. And I hate it. I hate it for real sports fans that, want to believe in a team and could possibly see a team get better over the course of the season and make a run.
I know as a Bulls fan, they've been in the mediocre spot, right? The 9 or 10 for the last 3 straight years. And everybody says it's bad. I still don't want them to lose on purpose as a fan. I want them to try to win the games.
At least if your organization has been in the middle ground like for a long, I understand and say, you know what, we're tanking, we're going to try something different. That's not either win or tank. Win or tank. Like, spend some time in the middle ground. See if you can make a jump from the mid spot. I don't know.
I'm with
maybe it's wishful thinking.
It is, but I like wishful thinking.
It is.
All right, we'll do a little happy hour coming up. Another hour to roll on a not the world's happiest day, but we'll make it work. Stick with us till 6. Gwynn and Chris.
It is a happy hour. We travel. 5 o'clock on the dial. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Adam Klug sitting in for Mr. Matthew Scraby. Remember, you might want to be listening at around 5:35. That's when we'll announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey suite at a future Padre game with all of the fan staff. Register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. I will also be remiss if I didn't remind you that all guests on 97.3 The Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their futures when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Okay, a couple of things I want to kind of get to. Rob Manfred. We talked a lot about him today and this possible work stoppage. He's currently, where is he at? Where is this at? This took place recently. He did some interviewing, some question answering, I should say. A lot of it was about the prop bets and kind of the decision to kind of work with the gambling sites. Yes. And bring I think the maximum bet is $200 now on prop
Brought
bets.
it down and the prop betting.
And he continued to do one of your favorite things, which is really highlight the
greatness of the relationship with the gambling outfits, which are helping keep a lid on all of this.
Right. I knew you would like that part.
I don't like it. And I read it earlier today and I went, like you're waiting. Yeah. This is unbelievable. I mean, you talk about turning a negative thing and just, I guess some people buy it.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Please.
Is he wrong though?
What, that the fact that they have a relationship with him helps him keep a lid on it? I don't know. Let me ask you this then. I'm not sure, because who is baseball in with? Is it FanDuel, DraftKings, or is it both? Is it all of them?
It might be both. I think it might be. I think all of them are tied in with.
They all work together. Okay, so the agreement, is allowed, giving us the ability to monitor what's going on.
It's almost basically like he's saying this is how we caught the guys that are doing right now.
But wasn't anybody monitoring what was going on beforehand? So did he need to bring in FanDuel? We'll use them as an example. Did he need to bring in FanDuel and the umpteen million that they bring to the table in order to watch gambling, or were they able to watch it before? I don't recall this being as big of a deal before.
Well, because
now that they're in with the gambling, it's now getting out here all the time.
It almost, I would say the answer is he's not lying, that it does help. But part of the reason why you needing to be in such great dialogue with them is because now, because you're in bed with them, the appearance is that, this is okay to do now. I think we can kind of, there's been some loosening of the thought of how gambling works now.
I mean, Rob, I think you're terrific.
Do you?
But his quote, the bedrock of our relationship with the sports books is the ability to monitor betting activity. That's the bedrock of it all, Tony. That's why we're in bed with these guys, because they give us the bedrock. They monitor the activity.
Could you explain bedrock?
I don't even know what the hell it means either. I mean, the point being, he's just giving us gobbledygook. And we're supposed to go, okay, yeah, gotcha, commish. I believe that you got a good handle on it. Meanwhile, Clase and Ortiz are throwing the ball over the backstop. Come on.
Allegedly.
Something's going on here.
He didn't just talk about that. He had a few other things. Now, remember, Tampa Bay Rays were playing in the Yankees spring training facility.
Right.
Looks like they'll be moving back into their facility at some point in 2026.
Oh, that's actually surprisingly
which is good news.
Yeah.
He says, I think they only have 2 panels left, I believe, and they expect that the roof will be dried out the first week in December, which is really important milestone for us. There's going to be a new turf and padding, new flooring throughout renovations of the suites, seating areas. All the air quality tests have come back fine. We're really pleased with the progress. He said, Also,
one last thing before you get to
go
the
ahead.
next one, because I know the next one's the one that people are going to want to hear. It's a good thing that they're moving back into their stadium, except it's also a bad thing because it's the worst stadium in the major leagues. So he didn't say that, but I'm going to say it for him.
I will say this, at least from an amenity standpoint, they will be moving back into big league digs.
It's a big league
opposed
ballpark,
to
yeah.
being in spring training all over for 162 games
Yeah.
or whatever it was. All right, here's the news that you guys are want to hear.
Yeah.
Of course, being that the Padres are possibly looking, ownership is possibly looking to sell. That was a question he was asked. Manfred said he expects there would be interest in buying the San Diego Padres after the Seiler family announced it was exploring potential sale of the franchise. Quote, "My guess it's a really appealing franchise. They've done a great job building a fan base. The in ballpark experience in San Diego is probably one of our best. They've got great players, and I expect there will be a lot of people interested in buying."
Yes, the Padres are the bedrock of the National League, according to Rob Manfred.
We're going to have to incorporate that all the time now.
Here's my only thing. This isn't on him because I don't expect him to give us more news than he needs to. Somebody needed to follow up and say, is there any chance that franchise would move?
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. That's what our fans want to hear.
I think that's
we know it's unlikely, but I'd like to hear the commissioner say, absolutely not. We will not let them move.
In his defense, I think that's so far off of his radar.
Okay.
In terms of the Padres ever moving that, and for that matter, the reporters that were there.
Right. So they don't
it's not
feel
even
they
something
need
to
to address it.
Here's the other thing that I don't know if anybody caught. MLB, and I've been kind of complaining about this a little bit at the end of the season. They just re-up with PitchCom for another 6-year extension. How many times at what point
can we get it fixed?
Yes, at what point in this 6-year deal are we not gonna have a pitcher come off the mound
and then some little kid run out there with one that works? Why weren't he using the one that worked before?
This thing was supposed to be problem proof.
It's not.
It's not. Every game.
Every
game at least once.
At least one. Is that you're going one a game?
At least once somebody comes off or a catcher calls timeout and the umpire is stalking the catcher because they don't want you to sneak in some
an extra meeting.
Some extra meetings in there.
And it's also in the 8th inning when the crowd's into a crescendo and the game's on the line and the reliever's like,
I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything.
Can't come up with
We got to get that fixed.
Please.
All right. So the other baseball deal. I mentioned this earlier. Baltimore Orioles traded was a
Grayson
Rodriguez
okay
to the Angels
for Ward, a guy that a lot of the Padre fans wanted the Padres to get last year.
And listen, I think Ward's a good player. I don't understand. So Baltimore, are they not trying to win this year? Because if I recall, the thing that got Baltimore in trouble was they didn't have any pitching.
And Rodriguez is a potential number 1 guy. But he missed all of last season.
He had
in their very small defense.
Right.
Maybe the Orioles just don't think he'll make it back.
You need more offense, though. I mean, you got like 7 young studs out there already.
The Orioles.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. They've got all those guys.
They don't need offense. And this is a team that before last year was like a team that was supposedly up on the come up, like about to take over the AL East. And then they took a huge step backward because they didn't have enough pitching. And then one of the first moves you make is to trade your probable number 1 starter.
They've already got Colton Cowser, Tyler O'Neill. They did lose Mullen. Was it Mullins?
They traded Mullen, yeah.
Mullen in the right at the trade deadline to the Mets. I don't know what the Orioles are thinking of. Rodriguez was 2.26 ERA.
He pitched
at the end of his rookie season. He was that good.
He pitched here 2 years ago.
2.26 is pretty good.
It was not pretty.
But he was hurt, missed all of last year. So there's 2 things. Either the Orioles are going to be able to say, I told you so, because they'll get 25 home runs out of Taylor Ward, or Tyler. I always get Taylor. My Taylor and Tylers are not great. Taylor Ward. And all I need is the Rogers twins to jump up, Taylor and Tyler Rogers, because I have no idea who's who there. But Ward will hit 25 home runs, and Grayson Rodriguez never gets healthy.
Yeah, I mean, that
or the Angels will get him healthy, and they'll get a steal of a number 1 starter.
They'll mess it up, though.
They will. And that's, I think, what the Orioles are counting on. If you ask the Orioles general manager, what are you thinking in this trade? And you put his truth serum in there, and he had to answer, he'd go, Well, we're just doing this because we know the Angels will screw up, and we'll look good in the end.
We'll look good at the end. One last announcement from Mr. Manfred. You also now 2 major changes to the league's All-Star week schedule. The draft, which previously had its first round on Sunday, will hold the first round on Saturday, and the futures game will be moved from Saturday to Sunday. So a little minor
Thank
change.
goodness for that.
A little minor change.
Did we ever
there.
talk about the NBA's new All-Star format that it is the most confusing thing I've ever heard.
That's why we haven't talked about it, because I haven't quite been able to wrap my mind about it.
There's going to be 12 guys on the international team. There's going to be 12 guys on the American team. But if the 24 players are going to be chosen at random by the fans, and it could come out where there's not 12 Europeans and 12 Americans. Right. And in that case, then Adam Silver has to see where the bedrock of the NBA lies in order to, I don't know how they're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't try to even figure it out. Don't waste your time.
Let's just say I'm not a believer yet. They're going to have to convince me.
Why don't they just end it?
Because we need an all-star. How about they just play some good pickup basketball again? That's all we have to.
You should go back to the 190 to 188.
Give me no. I'm saying good pass pickup, and not an offensive display of scoring.
Didn't they get to 200?
They almost. I'm pretty sure they got to it. All right, let's get to break. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side. A little traffic before any of that.
Back to Gwynn and Chris. 5, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, okay. I got that. I can count. We are back, and we're going till 6 o'clock. Ted Leitner was on with a little earlier, talking about the life and times of our friend Randy Jones, who passed away at the age of 75. You'll hear that interview. If you missed it this afternoon while you might have been working, you'll want to listen on your way home. Our visit with Ted, talking about RJ, coming up in about 15 minutes. In the meantime, a couple of other things going on around the sports world. I believe you mentioned this one, Tony. Joe Burrow, closer to playing. Listing, got a practice listing today. He participated. Maybe the Bengals bring him back as soon as this weekend.
Full participant.
Against the Patriots. Lamar Jackson's on the injury report again, this time an ankle.
Can't have him go.
For Lamar. Aaron Rodgers, playing status, he says, will be, quote, a safety thing. He's got the wrist injury. We don't know if he's going to go. Brandon Cooks has been cut, the old wide receiver, now last with the Saints. So there's a couple of football things. Oh, also Shadur Sanders is going to start.
Yeah.
The next game. You know, after 4 for 16, I can totally understand why they're in a big hurry to get him back in there.
Well, I mean, they're going to give him some reps today, this time against the starters.
That will help. He did come in unexpectedly in the second half after I think Gabriel got the concussion thing. CJ Stroud's out this weekend, third week in a row.
Yeah,
with the concussion.
We didn't talk about it, but Monday. But Chris Boyd, they could defend the corner for the New York Jets, was shot on Saturday night. Was left in stable condition. He's now breathing on his own now, and is alert and smiling, and so seems like he's on the mend. Hopefully.
I don't know do we have any details on what happened here?
Not really. He was out. Jets were off last weekend, so he was out at a restaurant, and a gunman shot him in his abdomen. Basically,
just shot him.
Yeah. Don't have. Oh, here we go. Got some little details. The shooting occurred at just after 2 a.m.
Nothing ever good happens after 2 a.m. I think there's many coaches have said that.
Just thinking that. Yeah. Boyd and his friends got into a scuffle outside the restaurant with a group that included a person police are looking for. Police sources told ABC News the confrontation led to the shooting. Sources said Boyd was transported by EMS to Bellevue Hospital, where he was initially listed in critical but stable condition. So hopefully he gets better. And
the lesson there is try not to get in a scuffle, even if you're in the right.
Listen, something. One of the coaches, one of my coaches, always uses. I've probably heard this many times. Nothing good typically happens after midnight.
Yeah, don't get in a scuffle after 2 a.m. But also don't get in one anyway.
Right.
It's just not worth it. Even if you're 100% right, just try to let it go. It's so much smarter. A couple of NBA stories. This one's for Scraby. While Scraby is out today, not working. Zion Williamson has been returned.
Is he
the
working?
Ball game. He's working. He's back for return.
The
Pelicans
irony that Zion returns to work with Scraby.
Lazy boy Scraby's got the day off. But Zion is back. I mentioned this to you, but the Warriors are pretty much sitting out the whole squad tonight in Miami.
So this should elicit what we talked about the other day.
Look, here's the thing. Jimmy Butler has a back injury, so I think
he's not resting. He's
not
hurt.
resting. Draymond Green has illness.
Oh, he's sick.
Steph Curry has ankle soreness.
All actually hurt.
Steph Curry has ankle soreness. Could you imagine he's going to miss Game 5 of the NBA Finals? Sorry, no Steph Curry tonight. The ankle's a tad sore.
If I recall, last time we did this, I think you read. Man. Did you read the guidelines? I thought that you read the guidelines.
The guidelines are that 2 or more star players from one team cannot be held out. So you have to make up the injury. It's very simple.
There it is.
That saved the Warriors $100,000.
Clearly, the Warriors were worried about that $100,000 because they went as far as to lie about
they're lying too. Draymond Green is not sick, and Steph Curry can certainly play.
I just literally saw him talking trash to a fan that was calling him Angel Reese the other day. He was not happy with. So it didn't look too injured.
Yeah, Draymond better make this look good, and he better miss his next podcast because he's just too sick to get out there.
I don't know.
The NBA's got it. They really do have an issue, and we've talked. I think Steve Kerr hit it. He's kind of agreeing with what I said, but so that's not why I agree with him. But
the pace,
the pace is bad. That's not going to change. So the one thing that's got to change is they can't do back-to-back games.
Yeah,
and they're just going to have,
and that means they're going to have to spread the schedule out longer. That's just what it is.
Either that, or you're going to shorten the schedule, which I don't see them doing.
Has anybody ever given money back in sports?
Ever?
Let me rephrase that. Has any team ever given money back?
No, I checked into it. No one's ever given any money back.
So, it's going to get longer. Is what the only solution is.
They've got to do something because the fans are going to get upset if they're not already upset. And I mean, I look at this game like here's one right now. Halftime, Houston 57, Cleveland 40. Now we know Cleveland is like an NBA Finals
type team.
Yeah. But tonight they've scored 40 points in the first half. They're getting blown out by 17. Now, I didn't look, but I just assume if that's the score, maybe all their players are just not playing.
No, they're in there.
But they are in there.
They're just getting touched up.
My point being, though, the first thing you think of as a fan, though, is, they must be sitting guys out.
Mitchell must not be playing, or Mobley must not be playing.
Well, Mitchell shouldn't be playing. He's got 2 points. He never seems to do that against Chicago. He usually gets 62 against them.
There isn't one player in their 9-man rotation that has a plus on their plus minus. They're all negative
so far. But that's what you think as a fan.
Yeah.
And let's put the gambling back into it because the NBA is in the whole thing with the same as baseball. I mean, your fans, if they want to wager on games, are really risking it because you don't know even what team you're really wagering on.
Another reason why it's probably not that smart to be betting on basketball. I'm just saying. Dudes are going to be in and out of the lineup. It's part of the reason why I stopped playing fantasy in basketball.
Fantasy basketball.
It's too
really
hard.
Tough.
Like you got to be on it because a guy could be getting ready to play and then boom, scratched.
And then you get the goose egg.
Right.
Nothing quite like it in there.
Oh, it's so
as a
fun.
fantasy player.
I've experienced it twice in my NFL fantasy this year.
NFL fantasy, if a guy gets when they announce it like during the warm-ups, you're
I have
no shot.
That's the one that gets you.
Yeah, can't do it. It's everybody's nightmare as a fantasy player that so-and-so is going to be scratched. As a last minute.
That's the game time decision one. It's like,
by the way, I think AJ Brown had the best quote of the year. Even I would get rid of me in fantasy because they won't throw me the ball. He's like, stop it. Because he felt bad like he's not doing well, but he said it's out of his control because they just won't give him the ball.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Jalen Hurts having some conversations with the media today.
What happened there?
Well, he
what did he do? Not win by enough last week?
He was basically asked about the reports that there's some frustration within the organization about, him not being willing to push the ball down the field. And he said, I'm not surprised by anything. This is kind of the nature of the position. Okay. But I put my energy and my focus on trying to go out there and do the best and trying to learn, trying to build, trying to take in the things that I can try and improve on. Some players have grown frustrated with Hurts' approach this season, according to a report by The Athletic. Specifically, when it comes to his hesitancy to throw the ball into tight windows against zone coverage. The frustration stems primarily from Hurts playing, quote, his game instead of taking what is discussed during the course of the week and transitioning it into the game according to the report. Is it
possible that these players are just not open? Because I don't know of a quarterback in the history of the sport that has looked at a guy down there wide open and said, I'm going to hold the ball just to give these guys a chance to tackle me.
I
don't think that ever really happens, but maybe they're onto something there. Maybe they're thinking that he won't make a tight throw because he doesn't want an interception on his record, something like that.
I just saw the head coach of Delaware State, a.k.a. Deshaun Jackson, former wide receiver for the Eagles, and he has a close relationship with A.J. Brown, and even he said that he's brought a lot of attention to this situation. And the one thing that happens, and we've talked about this, when you bring a lot of attention to a situation, you better make sure everything on your side is zipped up. And he said, and he said that on you see a couple routes where there's a ball he's thrown and he kind of gives up on it. Those are the type of things that, if you're going to make the noise, you certainly can't allow that to be on your film.
Fair enough.
Point.
Now I've seen
another problem is, as you kind of alluded to, they're winning.
They're 8-2. That couldn't be too bad.
It's really hard to be complaining.
You do sound a little whiny when you're winning.
I'm just saying,
because you don't sound like much of a team player when you're winning, and you're
I know it hasn't been pretty, but they're winning. They're 8-2.
On the same time, Devonta Smith, 1 catch for 8 yards or something last game. He's a starting NFL receiver. You think they would try to get him the ball more.
Yeah,
he's quite good. But I've seen I always stick up a little for Tua, not always, but this time I will. I've seen him throw a couple of deep balls this year where his receivers haven't even jumped for the ball, and the other guy jumps up and intercepts it.
Right.
You got to try to make a play.
Or at least turn yourself into a DB and knock it down.
Right. Not every interception is always on the quarterback, actually.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, Ted Leitner on the life and times of Randy Jones. I think an appropriate way to wrap things up tonight. We'll have it for you when we return.
.536, so you know what that means. Today's biggest fan, Danielle Ceballos of San Diego. Give us a call within the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973. You'll qualify for our grand prize. That's 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey suite.
Particularly happy with this winner for some reason.
The Padres game with all of the fan staff later this season. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Danielle Ceballos.
Remember Cedric Ceballos?
Of course, do I remember
the old
Cedric
Laker?
Ceballos.
Yeah.
Of course I remember
Yes,
Cedric
won the
Ceballos.
dunk contest. Was the first
blindfold.
He was the first guy to try the blindfold dunk. Yeah.
He was a son then, though.
He was a son on that
Came
one.
to us shortly
Came
thereafter.
to the Lakers. Pretty good. Well, there's so many great players.
Shipped off, I believe, Robert Ory. Wait, did we get Robert? I think, yeah, Robert had thrown the towel, I think, at Danny Ainge's face on the bench that day, and they shipped him out not too much longer later.
Danny Ainge. South Carolina women, by the way, are only leading Winthrop by 44.
They got
in
some
the
work to
fourth
do.
quarter. They got 20 more points to beat the spread.
They got
there.
some work to do.
Come on.
Get to it, young ladies. All right, yeah, so Danielle Ceballos, you got your chance. You probably got about 8 minutes now, a little 8 minutes, 30 seconds. 833-288-0973. All right, earlier, Theodore Leitner joined us to kind of reminisce on Randy Jones and his career and his time here in San Diego. We're going to get you to that after traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by the San Diego District Attorney's Office. Okay, those of you who are still having trouble driving home in the dark, you're making it tough on everybody else out there. Way too many crashes. Come on, westbound 8 for the 163. Guess what? This crash is blocking middle lanes. Southbound 5 before Gilman, accident over the right shoulder, and South 163, an accident right before Mesa College. This one involves a motorcycle. It's got the fast lane blocked. Southbound side of the 805s had some tough times this afternoon. Looks like crashes half cleared near University. Another crash cleared from Palm Avenue off-ramp. And southbound side of the 15 past El Cajon Boulevard, there is a collision. It's been moved over to the right shoulder. Workers' comp fraud costs us all. Fake claims and premium scams drain $34 billion a year. That means nearly $1,000 more per worker and higher prices for everyone. Workers' comp fraud hurts us all. See it, report it, stop it. Learn more at SanDiegoDA.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Ted, thanks so much for giving us a few minutes of your time today on what's really a sad day. As I said earlier, kind of a show I hoped I'd never have to do.
Understand. 48 years I knew Randy. And from the very time I got here in 1978, and he was still pitching at that time, and pitched for a couple of more years before he was traded to the Mets, and got to know him. But then who didn't? This was he and I have been an ambassador, the two ambassadors for the club for the last my 5 years, and he longer than that. And I just it's been a blessing to me to be an ambassador, and a blessing to me further to be an ambassador, because I've gotten to know Randy so much better the last 5 years as co-ambassadors, because Peter Seidler asked me to spend a couple of days, a couple of games per homestand in the owner's suite and be with people and so forth. And every game that I was there, Randy was there, because Randy went to basically all of them. And so we would dine together, and Marie would be there, and there's grandkids and kids through the years. And I got to know him better then than during the time that he played. And I am so blessed by that and so grateful for that, and has been through so much. I mean, so much. It's the business of getting into the 70s like we are, and you just want, to be healthy first and foremost, regardless of the age. And he didn't have a lot of luck with that, from the throat cancer to the major back surgery. And a friend of mine, I didn't even know, I haven't seen Randy since the end of the season. And a friend of mine told me he broke his hip in September. And so much he had happened to him. And I think aged a lot physically in the last few years rather than chronologically. But just a great guy. I always think about that. I got to cover Tony Gwynn for 20 years, and I had a couple as a TV guy at Channel 8, and then a broadcaster with KFMB when they did the Padres, and got to be with Randy. You can't have two, never mind ambassador. They were ambassadors and they were players, and that's the kind of guy they both were. And I was so blessed to know both of them.
Theodore, I didn't get a chance to see Randy pitch or get to know him as a player. I got to know him in his kind of second act,
Right.
as he was retired. But you got to cover him a little bit here in San Diego. What was he like as a player? Covering him then,
and it was kind of a shame for me, and because he had been so terrific. The first, and people forget this. You know the analogy that I use, that when Joe DiMaggio retired with the Yankees, he started doing commercials for the new company called Mr. Coffee, the Mr. Coffee machine, and they were all over New York and so forth. And young people would ask their dad and their mom, "Joe DiMaggio was a ball player?" You mean the Mr. Coffee guy?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I think so many young fans in San Diego, and maybe young adults too, who were not here, like I was for the prime of it, on the end of it, the playing career, that Randy Jones was a player. I thought he was as I always call it, a magnet, entrepreneur, because he hustled and he worked and he did stuff constantly. And they know him for the barbecue restaurant that he used to have. They know him for the barbecue restaurant at the new Petco and the kiosk and all that stuff. And he became more noted for that, plus his broadcast work and talk shows, right, where you guys, in terms of doing, and Padre pre-games and post-games and all that for a couple of decades. So they knew him as a broadcaster and a restaurant guy. And he played. Not only did he play, he was the first Padre star on early expansion bad teams. And was just the guy, early on with Dave Winfield and those guys that were the so-called cornerstones of the franchise. And I think Randy is kind of forgotten for that, because it's been so far back there, and they were not, good Padre teams, winning teams. But to win like that, with those kind of teams, to win 22 with a mediocre team in '76, just amazing. And to answer your questions, the kind of pitcher. And I saw him, like I said, when he was in his last couple of years, and then he was traded, had 2 more years with the Mets, and he wasn't the same pitcher. Had that nerve problem he had in his shoulder and neck, and he was never the same pitcher again, literally, after he won the Cy Young in '76. But the sinker made him. The sinker made him, and he was unbelievable. He was just unhittable. It's just like Trevor, with the changeup, the Bugs Bunny pitch. calls it, where you can tell them, hey, changeup is coming. They still couldn't hit Trevor.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Randy. It's a sinker, but I can't hit it. My favorite moment was Pete Rose. He owned the all-time hit champion. And Pete one time, of course, batting right-handed against Randy, the lefty, got so frustrated, he came up and he batted left-handed against him. And thought, hell, I can't hit him right-handed. I'll try lefty-lefty.
That's
and
when,
he grounded
that's when
out.
you know you're frustrated as a hitter, when you
Exactly
decide to go
right.
same side.
And grounded out. So Randy, and the fascinating part, and it shows how much the game has changed. I'm not a big stat guy. Not a big stat, algorithms, all that stuff. I'm not big into that, but there's some that are amazing. But to show you how the game has changed, when he won the Cy Young, 315 innings. 315. You know when you'll see that again? Never.
Yeah.
In that same year, 25 complete games.
Yeah.
That's got to be more than the entire National League combined last year for himself. And what made him even better, and he told me this, that with the sinker, you know, he had it early sharp, and then you get a little less sink later. But when he got tired, it always sunk like crazy and moved like crazy. So he got better as he got tired. And so if you can get him out of there by the sixth, he was going 9, and you were going to lose. Good chance you were going to lose. And it always fascinated me because it was really, really hard to hit. And like I said, he was fantastic, and it all peaked in that 76 season. He beat out Jerry Koosman for the Cy Young with the Met star, and Don Sutton, my old buddy with the Dodgers, and Steve Carlton with the Phillies. That's what young people need to know, that this Randy Jones, great guy, ambassador, barbecue restaurateur, but one hell of a pitcher in his Cy Young year.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, the fact that he said he got tired as the game went on, that was the excuse he told himself to stay out late before the night before a ball game. Like, I better stay out here for another couple of beers just to make sure I'm tired tomorrow.
My boy RJ didn't need it. My boy RJ didn't need any excuses to stay out late for another couple of beers.
Ted, you're so good at doing stuff like this. I mean, everybody's going to try to, you know, how are we going to remember? What is his legacy going to be when the sadness wears off? I told Tony's dad's going to always be Mr. Padre, but where's Randy going to fit into that scheme here as the years go on a little bit?
Because of all the stars, and Dave Winfield was a good guy, and I had a great relationship with Dave. I still do. And all those other guys, and so-called cornerstones, and the stars, Jake Peavy, so forth and so on, Greg Vaughn, love all those guys. But in terms of personalities, as in, what do you need? Okay, what charity do you need me to be involved in? That's Tony Gwynn, and that's Randy Jones. And in terms of whatever you need. And I was so blessed to be, with him. Like I said, my 5 years of ambassadorship, he's there every night, and I watch him with people. And you can learn. You really can. You can learn from people like that. I always did that. You know how I did that in my life, later in my life, and changed a lot. I hope for the better. That I would watch what Jerry Coleman would do. And I would watch what Randy Jones would do in dealing with the public. And when I had a problem or thinking how I would deal with something, a speech or an appearance I would make, I would ask myself, what would Jerry do?
Yeah.
What would Randy do?
Yeah.
That's the legacy to me personally, that their personalities, their charm, their love for people is returned by all those people. And Randy stands out among all Padre players for having that. Like I said, just in spades, amazing. Simply amazing. One of my favorite stories, Hal Clement told me this, that when I was at Channel 8 on sports, Hal, of course, was the #1 sports guy at Channel 10, and a terrific one. And he wanted to do one of those, remember, the reporter involvement stories. So he called Randy and said, hey, I could hit you. I could hit you, Randy. and Lefty said, okay. What do you want to do? I'm going to come out with the camera at Jack Murphy, and I'm going to let you pitch to me, and we'll do a story on it. Okay, I'll see you out there, whatever. And he goes out there. Now, Hal tells me that RJ is throwing lollipops at him. He would throw 85, but now he's throwing 70. And Hal hit one really hard, right back up the box.
Oh.
And Randy had to dance out of the way. And so the next pitch, he knocks Hal down.
There we go.
Sounds like RJ.
He knocks Hal down. He takes a couple of steps toward home plate, and he says, hey, don't you ever hit one back up the box against me. Stares at him, and then gets hysterical. breaks out laughing. Hal breaks out laughing. That's Randy Jones.
Yeah. I think, and if he wanted to throw in high and tight, I don't think anyone ever had a better control than him, until maybe Maddox. I'm putting him on that level
RJ,
for pinpoint control, Ted.
Yeah, he didn't strike out many, but I'll tell you what, he didn't even walk anybody. He was going to go here it is. Go ahead and try to hit it. Ground it out. Give me a double play. I know you will. And he had 90 strikeouts, even the Cy Young Award winner year. 90, nothing. It was not about that. I'm going to put it in play. I'm going to use my defense. I'm going to go get a drink of water. That's it.
Ted, thank you so much. We really appreciate you doing this today. I know you had probably a lot of people calling and asking. It was very nice of you to join us, and we appreciate it a lot. Thanks, sir.
I appreciate it. It was a tough night hearing the rumors, and then making a lot of calls all night long and trying to reach people, and now we know, and I miss him already.
Yeah, well said, as it always is by Ted Leitner. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Theodore.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
You bet.
Ted Leitner, kind of taking us down memory lane a little bit as it pertains to Randy Jones.
RJ. Really only 4 numbers been retired for the Padres. I know officially 6. One was Garvey. I always feel that was for a moment rather than a career. Jackie Robinson's retired, but that's all throughout baseball. So the 4 really are Trevor and Winfield and your dad and Randy. And 3 are in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Right.
Randy's not, and he's not ever going to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. But I like something that Don Shula once said. It just popped into my head. Don Shula said he coached 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in his career: Johnny Unitas, Bob Greasy, and Dan Marino. And he said, but the guy who took over for the injured Greasy and led Miami to the undefeated season was an old fellow named Earl Morrill. And Don Shula always said, Earl's in my personal Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I bet.
So Randy Jones, he's always going to be in my personal Hall of Fame.
I don't think you're the only one.
Yeah,
for sure. Real quick, we were supposed to have Michael Flix on today. We weren't able to get that done. He'll join us next week. We'll have our kind of preview, get our high school preview and prep talk going at that point next week. So sorry for those. We know we teased it today. Because of the news that kind of broke, it ended up kind of working out the way it did today. Adam, nice job, man, on the 1s and 2s.
Thanks, today. Adam.
Thank you very much, guys. Love being here with you.
Yeah, I'm jealous. You guys get to go home.
Where you
relax, lay down, go to bed in your own bed. I'll be on a flight overnight to the Bahamas. It's horrible, guys. Yeah. I can't be sitting upright all night.
I'm sure.
Going to be terrible.
As you get to chill for the next 5 days with 2 games. Is that what it is?
2 games in 5 days. Yeah, but I will be with you guys tomorrow. Yes. That's the plan. Yes. As long as I, get the equipment working, which is always a bit of a thing.
Our listeners are trained to know that when you say you'll join us and you're not going to be here, that it's a 50-50.
It's a 50-50, but Scraby, I think he wants me to get it to work, but I also think he doesn't want me to get it work so that he can get mad about it.
I can kind of feel the same way.
Like, Chris, how do you not know to work anything?
He wants to be mad either way, right?
That's right.
So if you don't join, he's like, he always says he's going to join, and then he never joins. And then if you join us and it all works,
then he's upset that I got it working. So tune in tomorrow to see if I
have to depend on him.
See if I get it working tomorrow. But I plan on being here after the agony of flying over there tonight.
There was one thing I was going to hit on before we got up out of here. I can't remember what it was. Oh, TV deal that we didn't really actually get a chance to talk about.
Padres and baseball.
Major League Baseball's TV deal. Remember they jumped out of, or ESPN opted out of their deal. Well, they've somehow kind of put it back together. It looks a little bit different. All you need to know, folks out there who are looking at Padres TV.tv, nothing changes for 2026. I can't promise that after 2026 it stays like
you get at least one more year of the Padres.
One more year of getting your games the way you've been getting them.
Yeah,
and we'll worry about the rest after. How about that?
Yeah, I'll take that, but I'd rather, it'd be an ongoing thing.
Here's a couple things that you'll be. I don't know how you'll feel about it. NBC, Peacock, they are now part of Major League Baseball again.
Oh, terrific.
Netflix.
I think I'm still a member of Peacock because they will never cancel me. I just keep paying them for no reason.
Netflix is also a part. They get a couple, I think, 3 one-off games. They get opening day. They get home run derby. And I believe they get the the cornfield game, the Field of Dreams game.
All right.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
So they get those. So we'll probably get into a little bit deeper explanation tomorrow when we have more time. No Chronicles today because Adam Klug has got to get out of here. We also will get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow.